Well, hello everybody, I am Mr. Mike, and you're listening to the GameZattack podcast, episode 25, as this podcast is called Games, here on OldFreakyGamer.com or where podcasts are available. So how is it going, everybody? Welcome to my video game podcast show. I even put that new little thing in the album art, because I wondered if people... even though it is called the GameZattack podcast, I wonder if people know this is a video game podcast. Because, you know, even though the name persists, it doesn't mean people understand this is a video game podcast. Maybe they think this is like a show or something else. I don't know. Even though all the telltale signs say it is a video game podcast, I put in a little message in there saying a video game podcast. So if you are wondering what kind of podcast this is, it is a video game podcast. So, oh boy, gonna be another great show. Hopefully not as super long as all the other shows that I have been doing. I might be maybe making this show a little shorter. We will see, because you know me, this show always goes long. But we got a ton of stuff to get into, like always. You know, every 2 weeks, there's always seems to be something to be talking about. Just like all these games coming out, digital sales of stuff, tons of interesting news, whatnot. But there's been a lot of games coming out that I purchased, a lot of game sales of games that I've purchased, hence the title, Games. And I'm just going to get right into it. I bought a lot of games. And frankly, I bought too many games in a way. But hey, you know what? It's good to have a nice big backlog, especially a digital backlog, so I can go. And if I feel like I want to play something, I got something to play. I always got something to play. So it's, you know, when the so-called, as I'm hearing in the industry going forward, and I think I gotta move my camera. Actually, I gotta move myself, because I'm looking at myself here on my monitor, and I was a little off center there. But yeah, the industry is stating, and other video gaming podcasts and stuff, and other people in the industry were saying that this might be a very, very light year in video games. Didn't we say that the one last time, that it was going to be a video game shortage, or a drought, as you would say, most people would say? I don't know if there would be a shortage, but video game drought. Another one. It's supposed to be like this year, maybe a little bit next year, who knows? But there's supposed to be a video game drought coming. Like, there's not going to be too much big titles coming out. Not that there's not a million little games coming out there, so it's not really a video game drought. It's just a video game drought on what people like to consider triple A games, or those big kahunas. And stuff like that. But you know what? It doesn't matter. And you know what? I also got to move this camera, because I am still off the center. There we go. I don't like that. I don't like being too off center, because I got all this real estate here, and I'm like all the way to this side of the thing. So if what you're hearing and not seeing, if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, I have a video version of this podcast as well, where it's nothing special. It's just me seeing my ugly ass talking on video. I got a few cool graphics on the side, and that's all. It's something video wise. I put it up on YouTube because YouTube has a so-called podcast, what should I say, video podcast section on YouTube, where you can put your podcasts up. So that's what I do. Originally I didn't do that, but then I'm like, well, if I'm recording my podcast now all in OBS, because it's easier for me to transition to different audio and stuff. So if I want to go here and go and do that or that, it's a lot easier to add sound effects into my podcast, because or videos and podcasts, because I don't have to go traditionally through other sources. Like when I used to record my podcast back in the day, I used to use Audacity, or not Audacity, Adobe Audition, sorry. Then, you know, that would work a lot of times. Then it wasn't working a lot of times. Then there was things going on, and it had its issues. And I wanted the multi-channel because I needed multi-channel for different sources and stuff, for my audio sources, from this, for another microphone, stuff like that. And because I never updated it or bought a new one, maybe that's the reason it was starting to crash and burn. But then I went from that to Audacity, and I found out in Audacity you can only have one main input into Audacity, and it's very limited on its thing. It's very powerful recording if you just want to record your podcast straight up, but it's also got its hindrances because you can only do one source at a time in that thing. You could put multiple tracks from sources later and edit them, but it has its limitations, big limitations like that. And then I used what do you call it? Banana something banana. What is it called? Voice meter. Yeah, Voice Meter Banana. That's what it's called. I used Voice Meter Banana for a long time, and seemed like a great podcasting application where I could put in multiple sources, like multiple audio sources. When I used to do my podcasts earlier on, not even a couple years ago, but when I used to do that as well, when I had other podcasts I would make, non-gaming podcasts and such, I would have my friend, he would podcast with me on a regular basis, and I'd have his microphone set up, my microphone set up, and Voice Meter Banana was perfect for multiple audio inputs for like that. And then along came the Stream Deck, and that made things a lot easier. And then eventually I'm like, you know what? Okay, even though I'm not going to use multiple sources like another microphone all the time, even though I can, I found out OBS, which is a video capturing application mainly, does a very good job with audio sources. And for me, at least, for the basics, because I don't really care about the audio video mastering on it, or the audio mastering, I should just say, on the side, because it's a podcast. It's going to be recorded in high resolution and high bit rate, but then it gets compressed down to 128 kilobits per second, at least for my podcast. Other people's podcasts are even encoded even in less kilobits per second, like 96 and stuff like that. And me, I'm like, well, I want them to at least have decent sounding audio wherever they go, either it's in your headphones or on your car stereo or surround sound. I chose to go a little higher bit rate with my podcast at 128 kilobits per second. Now, no, it's not anything special, because you could do 256 or 312, 315 kilobits per second or something, or even higher than that. But then, you get that bigger file sizes for people to download. And I know that people don't really want to download the giant file sizes when they're downloaded to their phones and apps and stuff. So that was always a challenge before, but getting in that range of 128 kilobits compared to 96 kilobits and stuff, it sounded a dramatic difference between the two, and the file sizes were not that bad, depending on if it was 128 or 96. So I chose 128 as my stable for audio for podcasting, because I figure, hey, I want people to listen to this and take me semi-seriously in a lot of the podcast recordings that I do. So all in all, OBS does, at least for me, a perfect job of taking each of the audios from different sources, combining them together, making them in one nice format, which, like I said, I do video on the podcast now, because, hey, if I'm recording in OBS and I'm recording the video all the time on OBS, I might as well just put it out there as a video podcast as well, because why not? It's just no extra work on my end. I just have to encode the video to what I do for YouTube, and then I strip out the audio from the podcast part of it to edit that very quickly in Audacity, because I actually take the audio and I put it in Audacity, do my little cutting in there for the audio side of it, and then I add in some other stuff, and that does wonders, and it makes a nice podcast audio app. And then I can put all the metadata into it as well, because Audacity does a great job of putting metadata into my audio files and all that. So that's what I do. And like I said, OBS it's perfect for what I want to use it for. I'm not like these other people that, oh, you gotta get this very special podcast app. You gotta get these high condenser microphones and stuff. I use USB microphones because they're just as good. They're all digital. They're pure digital. You get a digital signal going in and out. Analog audio in, digital signal through the system and out. You can't go wrong with that. And they sound just the same. I had a regular audio mics and stuff like that. I had the condensers. I had stuff like that before. And then I found out this is a lot simpler. It's a podcast. I'm not recording a music video, folks. I'm recording a podcast, or I'm doing gaming videos, which, you know what? You want to hear the game more than you want to hear my raspy voice, which, excuse me, because I think my voice sounds raspy. It sounds raspy to me. I'm going to take a hit off this orange juice here. Like always, I've been doing a lot of talking over the weekend and at the end of the weekend and the weekend, because I do my gaming videos and stuff like that. So I've been recording some gaming videos and such. And sometimes when you talk too much, your voice gets a little raspy and that. And I don't want you to hear me with a raspy voice. You already have to hear my nasally drone. You don't have to listen to a raspy nasally drone voice. All in all, podcasting, very easy to do. Not super expensive. I pay a little bit of money. The only bit of money I really pay for the podcast is to put it up on Podbean. I think I pay like a few $100s here and there. I'm going to pay a little bit more because maybe I think they got it where you could pay for multiple years. So if I don't want to pay every year, I can pay for an extended period of time. I think. I don't know. I'll have to check that out. But anywho, that's the only thing I paid for, just to get to upload, because with Podbean, it's easy to upload your audio for your podcast, and it keeps it where they store it up there. They push it out to all the sources easier, and it's better than what I used to do. I did it the old school way, where I'd put it up on another site. I would link it to my sites, and it took a lot longer to put up podcasts and stuff. In the early days, after using Podbean and using OBS, what I do now, putting up the video version on YouTube and putting the audio version on Podbean makes things 1,000 times simpler. And I know that's not even a correct statement right there. Maybe 100 times easier, I should just say, because you shouldn't be able to go past 100, but I'll say 1,000 because everybody likes to say that kind of jargon. And it makes it a lot easier, and that's why I could get the podcast nicely recorded, focus on the recordings, cut them down very easily, edit them what I need to edit, the very fine little things that I add to the podcast. That's what I'm mostly doing, adding to the podcast, adding a little bit of flair, a little bit of spice to the podcast, and then, encode them in their video and audio formats and put them out there the next day. On due day, which is tomorrow, because I'm recording this Sunday, the day before this podcast comes out, and it's easy for me. It goes very quickly. Same thing with my videos. I learned, even though my videos aren't the best produced out there, and you can look at them, they can be a little janky with some stuff. They're not the best produced podcasts or videos, I should say, out there and stuff. But you know what? I don't care. I have fun. I make them look as good as they can look. I make them sound as good as they can sound. And, I like to try different things, like to do a little test. But otherwise, I try to make my videos and audio the best it can be, for, what I don't make no money from. I do all this for free, for fun. So it's just my hobby to do so. And, I do the best I can. I learn stuff. I learned a lot doing stuff like this, and adding like this. If you're watching the video version, I added all that cool art and stuff that I put in there, all the little crazy stuff I just came up with. I'm like, why don't I get rid of all this empty space and just put a bunch of stuff that can make sense with the podcast, and I'm going to do that going forward. So when I have new podcasts, if I got some interesting stuff, I could tease it in the album art and stuff like that. And well, not the album art, but the art on my video, and you get something a little bit more than just my ugliness on the video. So I guess you're welcome on that. Anywho, what was I even going with that? I'm just saying that, yes, podcasting. Fun. And I'm already making this podcast longer because I'm talking about podcasting now. Even though this is a video game podcast about video games. So I was talking about the gaming drought that's supposedly coming. Even though there's a lot of indie games and other stuff, you're going to find thousands upon thousands of games. I almost said millions, but I'm going to say thousands upon thousands of games on Steam, Xbox games. I'm just going to say Xbox games because you could go Xbox PC games, Xbox games and stuff, because if you go to xbox.com, you could get PC or Xbox games. If you go to the PC store, you get all your PC games. You go to the Xbox store, get your Xbox. You got the Epic store, you got the Nvidia store, you got the Ubisoft store, you got the EA store, even though EA's been putting some of their stuff on Steam now, which hence the bigger amount of games that I purchased recently, which I will talk about, but plenty of places you can get video games. And like I said, smaller groups of people are putting out video games, hobbyists, people that are interested in, having a business and stuff. And then you got the big guys that are like still saying they're struggling and things are costing them too much money because they don't know how to manage the businesses properly, and they think everything has to be big and AAA game. Like, look at Warner Brothers Discovery right now. They're just really sucking. And I'm going to say this, fucking and sucking. Warner Brothers Discovery, because of the merging, they merged. But before that, when it was just Warner Brothers, and I'm talking about a little bit back in the day, they were the best. They always came out with awesome, amazing movies. I always went to see Warner Brothers stuff. Their Warner Brothers game studios were top notch and all that. And now it's like, with the new leadership and everything else, it seems like everything is just going to go down the drain. I'm saying that right now, everything is going to go down the drain with that company. And they've been doing some stupid, shady shit and backward shit, and the thinking and stuff of the company and corporate, and that CEO should just definitely get shoved out of that company. They should shove, a big bottle rocket firecracker up his ass and shoot him into space because he's a dumb piece of motherfucking shit. Ugh. That's one guy I would just punch in the face if he ever talk to me. He's just one of those guys that I just want to power in the face because he sucks. He sucks as a CEO. He's a bad guy, folks. If you want to talk about bad CEOs and bad company leadership, that guy, whatever, I forgot his name because I don't even give a shit. That Warner Brothers Discovery CEO, he's a bad guy. And I'm sure the people on the board are bad people. I'm sure the investors that are investing in those companies are bad people because the shit that they're doing, canceling stuff all the time, they're going to ruin the video games part of the business now with all their, we're going to do these big, one of the live games and services, even though we tried that with Suicide Squad and it failed, and that multiverse is probably not going to go anywhere too much because why would it? But here's the thing. They used to make great movies over there. They used to make great video games. Not everything was a big banger or hit, but they did a great job. Now I worry that stuff like Mortal Kombat franchises and stuff are going to go away, and you're going to see a lot of things fall and crumble in that place. And I don't want to support Warner Brothers anymore, or Warner Brothers, a.k.a. Discovery, anymore. So I'm boycotting them. I don't care if it's a video game or what, from them anymore, because they don't have my respect anymore in the movie side or that. So anything that's a movie coming from Warner Brothers Discovery, not that they won't just kill it on site before they release it, I don't care. I'm sorry, I'm not going to see any of that crap anymore. And on the gaming side, even though they got Final Fantasy, Warner Brothers has Final Fantasy. Oh, that's funny. Even though they have Mortal Kombat and stuff, and sometimes they got a few other good titles. I'm not going to buy any more things from them or get anything else from them. Maybe if it's on Game Pass, because then I don't have to pay for it, really, technically, even though people will say, oh, you're paying for Game Pass, which pays them, so you're technically supporting them. Yeah, I'm technically just supporting Game Pass because I buy Game Pass and it's in the Game Pass section, so it's technically, I'm not paying them directly for it. They're getting a cut, but they're not getting my cut. They're going to get the cut no matter what because it's just they're getting the money from Game Pass. So I'm not going to support. I'm saying it here and now. I am boycotting Warner Brothers Discovery for all their stuff until that CEO is gone, dead and gone. Whatever comes first. He can die. He can be gone. Elon Musk can take him and throw him into one of his Starship rockets and blast him off to Mars or somewhere a lot farther away where he can't possibly get back to Earth. He needs to go. Him and whoever else is the dumbass decision making over at that company, because oh boy, I'm telling you this, folks, and this is coming from my gut. And usually when something comes from my gut, it usually ends up being true, unless if they do some wild turnaround or people buy their properties, which they were sort of feeling out if people wanted to buy their video game properties, but then they stopped. And I can foresee Warner Brothers games eventually crumbling and falling. I can foresee all those franchises that they have, all that Warner Brothers games and stuff, even including NetherRealms and Mortal Kombat. I can see, unfortunately, all that stuff just crumbling, falling, and getting flushed down the drain by them, never to be seen again because of their pettiness. Just like their movies, Acme or Coyote versus Acme and stuff, the Batgirl movie, all that stuff that they just killed and erased from existence, even though they were practically done because they just didn't want any other people having success from them because they felt like, oh, to make us look bad, but yet we want more money from it, so we're going to just use this semi-tax loophole where we can write them off as taxes, as stuff on the taxes. And it's like disgusting. Everybody's saying it. Disgusting. I'm surprised there's not more coverage of this stuff out there from big news medias. Oh, wait, yeah, because Warner Bros. Discovery has a lot of those media companies in their pockets. Okay, I forgot, because the news media industries suck as well most of the time. So, yeah, there we go. But anywho, yes, they're bad companies. Sorry for the people that are working there. I know these people, all these hardworking men and women out there making the games and movies and stuff, want to get paid for their stuff. But I would think I know it's very tough times out there, but I'd be thinking about writing my resumes or putting out my resumes for other companies, other franchises and companies, film studios, whatnot. Maybe start your own ventures eventually and start getting the fuck out of there, because I can see the dominoes falling already. Well, a lot of people are, because they're already in so much debt over at Warner Bros. Discovery. They're like the other Embracer Group of the world, and they haven't even really bought anything but killing stuff left and right. That Adult Swim games publishing division, they are canceling, and they're basically flushing that down the toilet because, I don't know, why not? But like I said, I'm boycotting anything and everything that they're making over there. I don't care if it might be a good game or a bad game, good movie or bad movie. Until those leaders, that leadership is gone, shoved out, blown away, I don't care, gone from Warner Brothers Discovery, I'm not gonna contribute to another dime, not another penny, to anything that is Warner Brothers Discovery. Now, like I said, if it's in Game Pass, the game comes to Game Pass or something or whatnot, or if it's a streaming service and there's a movie, sure, I'll watch them. I'll watch the movies on the streaming service because it's in the streaming service. Or if it's the game, it's already in Game Pass. So that's an exception. I'm not really paying them directly for that content. So it's harsh to say, but it has to go. And it has to happen. And those people have to go. Anywho, A lot of games are on sale this week and the past week as well. I don't know how long these sales are going for. They could be almost over before I know it. This Sunday could, as I'm recording this, could be the last Sunday for like the Steam sales and stuff. I never usually know how long these sales go on for. So whatever I report now for game sales and stuff might be over with by next week, but you never know. You might get a chance to, or they might go back on sale again. You never know. Because there's a lot of stuff on sale. Xbox has a bunch of stuff on sale. Steam has their Steam sale going on. And stupidly enough, I bought a ton of stuff that was on sale. Even if it was just a semi-little price drop, or if it was still considered full price in a way. There's even games that I bought that were still full price. And I kid you not, folks, and I'm not going to deny anything. Even though a lot of this stuff was very cheap and on sale, combine all that money together, I spent a lot of money on video games. Not that much, but enough. It was roughly almost $200, give or take. You can do the math yourself, but I think it was roughly I spent almost $200 of video games in the past couple weeks, these 2 weeks that I've not podcast for. So yeah, I dropped a pretty penny on some video games, but they're games I'm going to want to play, and they're games that are all digital that, hey, if I don't play them right away, I'll have them for down the road to play because they're all digital and they're going to be in my back catalog. And you know what? That's going to be great going forward because that means, I always got something special or new to play going forward. And even if I don't play some of these games forever, they were cheap enough to say, hey, whatever, it's a few dollars here and there, what not. But the bigger games, the bigger price tag games, I am actually playing a little bit of, or I will be playing. But the smaller ones, who knows? But I got a list here, and I wrote it down, my shameless list of games that I purchased. But it's not shameless. I'm a gamer, and I know, and I'm going to keep saying this, there's certain individuals out there that hate it when people like me call ourselves gamers. They think it's scummy and shitty, and I'm like, why not? Why can't we have that fun? That's my question. Why can I enjoy calling myself a gamer and enjoy gaming in general and saying, hey, I'm a gamer. I like the game. Sure, there's people that are gameless that are gamers as well, and then there's people that don't play video games that are not gamers. Why is it wrong to say I'm a gamer? Or is it just because there's some old white men out there and that just don't feel like people should call themselves gamers? I don't know. I like the term gamer. I think it's a nice term, but if you make it seem like it's a bad term, then you got bad thoughts. Maybe you should get rid of those bad thoughts. I don't know. Anywho, here's my list of all the games that I've purchased in the past couple of weeks. And like I said, there's tons more games, and I was looking through the Steam and Xbox game sales and stuff, and I'm like, okay. But a lot of the games are already owned on a lot of these sales and stuff, and a lot of them I just don't, I have no foreseeable future of ever playing other games, or, there's certain aspects that I'm like, no, I'll pass on all these games, or I got all these games. But I did pick up a few games here, a big few, and one of them that I purchased for full price, I think, for $30, the Jurassic Park Games Collection by Limited Run Games. I found this out on Xbox.com because I was searching for another game, and this came up, the Jurassic Park Classic Games Collection, which includes your NES Jurassic Park games, Sega games, Game Gear games. What was it called? The CD, I think the game CD or whatever. It has a whole bunch of the Jurassic Park classics games on there, the ones by Ocean and stuff like that. It has a Jurassic Park Rampage and Jurassic Park this and that. And even though they're the crappiest, jankiest games from back in the day, they're still fun to play. Like, I enjoyed playing hours and hours aimlessly trying to think of how to play and beat any of these Jurassic Park games, which I never did. I never beat any of these Jurassic Park games before, but I always said, you know what, Mr. Mike, these are fun, stupid games. And you know what? Even though I own Jurassic Park, I have Jurassic Park, and I have a lot of the Jurassic Park ROMs as well, the emulation part of the games. I'm like, why not? Limited Run came out with this Jurassic Park games collection of games. I might as well buy it. Now, actually, I should gotta check this out. Do they have any physical copies? So if I go to Limited Run Games, do they have, well, I can go to shop, that's right. Do they have that available? Because I thought they did. Oh, they even have, they're even showing Rugrats games. They're unfortunately another thing, which could be unfortunately or could be okay. Limited Run Games is owned by Embracer as well. So we got to be very careful with that because Limited Run Games is amazing. But unfortunately, a certain company is not Embracer. I'm looking here. I'm seeing if I thought they had like some physical copies. I could be wrong. Could be just digital copies of the games. Let's see here. I should just put in Jurassic Park here. Hold on. Jurassic Park Retro Collection. Here we go. Jurassic Park Retro Collection. Oh, they even have remakes. Oh, they're all sold out though. All the Jurassic Park Retro stuff is sold out. Oh shit. Jurassic Park Part 2, The Chaos Continues Collection. Game Boys and SNES games and stuff. Man, the vinyl of Jurassic Park Volume 1 and 2 is out. The collector's NES, SNES edition is, wow. Damn, I wish I would have got these. These are some cool collectors, but they have them digitally. So that's why I was glad I could get these limited run digital NES and Game Boy. Yeah, Game Boy SNES, it says. Game Boy, they don't have any Sega. I'm surprised they didn't make any Sega cartridges. But, yeah. I think that was amazing that they have them digitally. And that's a good idea because then, you know, like I said, people like me could have fun with this retro collection, and they're not the worst games. They're interesting. They're not the worst games. These Jurassic Park Classic Collection, games collection, and for $30, you can't go wrong. And you can earn achievements if you get it, like I said, off of the Xbox version. And I'm sure they got a Steam version of it as well, being published on Steam if you want to buy it for Steam. And I think they have it for Switch as well. The Jurassic Park Classic Games Collection. Don't quote me on that, but I think they had it on Switch. I don't know why they wouldn't not have it in the Switch store, but I think they have it on Switch as well, and I'm sure it's all $30. Because it's digital. Why not? It's cheap and something for nostalgia people like me that like to play them. So, like I said, Jurassic Park Classic Games Collection, $30. That's one bunch of games in a pack that I got. Pre-ordered, played, and if you watched my video, Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection, which a lot of people have been saying, and I'll talk about this a little bit later in news on how, actually I could talk about it now. Why not talk about it now? I might as well if we're talking about it. A lot of people said this is a bad launch for it. People are complaining about it. So as I'm reading here from various online news outlets, probably one of the worst launches of all time. Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection players tearing to Aspire for bugs, crashes, and 364-player launch servers for nearly 10,000 users. Blah, 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 blah. And they're saying everything's broken and crashing. And there were at the start of when the game came out, the Star Wars Classic Collection Battlefront Classic Collection came out, there was only 3 servers on Steam for Steam players to play online, and the game would freeze and crash and stuff and all that. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. That kind of sucks. I can understand, because don't forget, Aspire is under the umbrella group of Embracer. They're under another publisher. I keep forgetting that publisher's name, but they're underneath the other publisher that is under Embracer. So there's Embracer, the other publisher, and the publisher that they're under for this stuff, and who knows how much money they have that they were allowed to put into these projects and stuff. And they up-res the collection a little bit. They added videos. This is another thing. People are wondering why the games are so big. The Star Wars Battlefront games in the Classic Collection are so big. It's because they add film footage in there. They added the movies film footage in the games, which originally they did not have in the games, at least that I remember of, because I was even asking friends at work that remember these games, and they were like, no, they never had film footage from the movies in these games back when they're on the 360 and stuff, because that's when they came out. That's when actually, these came out on the PS2, so forget that. They never had them on the PS2 when you only have a 4.8 gigabyte disc, 4.5 gigabyte disc. They might have went to 8 gigabytes for the discs, as they were, what should I say? Company mastered. They were professionally mastered discs for that game. So, but still, I don't think the movies were in the video files were in the game. And I think they added that later, the footage, because I was watching, I'm like, why is there video footage of these Star Wars movies in these games? I'm like, I don't remember that. And, they look crisp and clear. They sound great. So I'm betting all that video footage that they put in there added up to all that extremely higher, bigger package of the games, on top of them being up-resed a little bit. So they're up-resed a bit. They cleaned them up a bit. They play amazingly to me. I got Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection for the Xbox Series X that I played, because if I wanted it on PC, I'd have to get it off of Steam, and then I'm like, well, I want achievements, so because I'm greedy and I want achievements, I have to get for Xbox, because Microsoft isn't selling in the PC side of the Xbox store, so I can't get on there, or else I would have totally got Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection on the Xbox PC storefront. I still don't understand why that people just don't decide to sell it on everything and anything and everything, because a sale is a sale. If Microsoft had Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection for me to purchase, and it would also be available on the PC part of it, and for a lot of other people out there that are like me and that want achievements and stuff, I'm like, ooh, they got it for the PC, for the Xbox PC side. We'll pay it for there, because then we'll get it on the PC, we'll get it on the Xbox, because that's what they usually do. You'll buy it once, and you can play on both your Xbox and your PC if it's on both on the Xbox side. And that seems like a nice deal, like a seal of the deal right there that you get. And you can't do that with Steam. You can't just play on Steam and then play it on Xbox. You got to play either on Steam or you got to play on Xbox. In the one article, they were touting how it was a bummer that they weren't going to have cross-play in the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection between, PC, Xbox, Steam, Xbox, stuff like that. And you know what? Maybe eventually they'll come in, but to me, that's not a deal breaker either, because, you got your game platforms, you got these people in the platforms, and maybe a lot of people don't want to play with PC people, and PC people don't want to play with console people. I don't know. That might be another reason. But as for the bugs and crashes on the Xbox side, at least, I can tell you for sure, and you can watch the video, it's not really that bad. It's what I remembered playing before when I was playing these games on the PS2 back in the day, but looking a lot better and moving a little bit better in my case. I like how the characters and the animations move and stuff. It's not super fast, so I can keep up in the game and have some fun. But they're very fun. The campaigns are fun, and I only played a little bit, few missions in the campaigns. They're fun, and what I remember, and achievements are fun as well. When you get the achievements unlocked in the game, you're like, oh shit, I'm not playing this on the PS2. I'm playing this on this. And when I played a little bit, and I only played like a few handful of matches, I went online to see how the Xbox side online was with online matches. And it seemed okay. It ran okay. It took a little while to, load in. It took like a minute or something. And once I got into the battles, I only did the quick load stuff. They ran pretty damn good. It ran pretty good. I played through the matches without any crashing or anything. Now, it did crash after the match on some matches. That's when it crashed for me. It crashed twice. It went right back to the main game hub or whatever you want to consider it. And I think it only crashed once into the Xbox dashboard once. But I was doing a million things. I was clicking a million things, doing a million things, but otherwise, it is not that buggy. A little bit of crashing on that side, but really it was not that bad. I got in, I played, I had my fun with other people. It was pretty darn fun, and I might join some people in the near future to play online again. But playing solo is that's how I played these games. Because before, when I first got Star Wars Battlefront and Battlefront 2 on the PS2, Mr. Mike did not have internet. I don't even think I had real good dial-up. I think my 56K was only like 32K in how web pages loaded. And you remember, if you're old as me, and you remember if you go on dial-up and you download a web page, it's like, it'd be like this. Think of this. Here's the page coming down with my hand. Oh, it stalled. Oh, somebody's on the phone. Oh, gonna redo it. Oh, it was so bad, so slow. We're so spoiled with gigabit internet and stuff nowadays. I know I am, and stuff like that, and high-speed wireless internet. Didn't have none of that stuff back in the PS2 era. Sure, they had, I think DSL was a thing, or it was more of a thing, and then cable internet was just coming out in the PS2 era. If I'm not mistaken, that's what was starting to roll out bigger and bigger. I didn't have none of that stuff. I didn't have no internet. I played all my PS2 games single player. That's what I cherish the most. That's why I'm a bigger single player gamer than a multiplayer gamer. There's very few games that I can actually get into and play multiplayer with other people. That'd be like Minecraft, the Gears of War games, at least the original Gears of War games. The newer ones were a little too quick because they quickened them up too much. Of course, the Star Wars Battlefront collection I can add to that. And what else did I play online with other people? I said Minecraft. I said Gears of War. I said Star Wars Battlefront collection. What else would I actually play online with other people? Fighting games and wrestling games. Yes, when I used to do wrestling games online and fight. And of course, fighting games I could do online with people. I don't mind doing that. But otherwise, I'm not really a big time gamer online. I just don't want to hear all the people whining and complaining in the headsets and stuff. And even if I don't have the headset on or anything, I like playing by myself a lot of times. But you can play with other people even locally in this game. They got split screen in the Star Wars Battlefront collection. I never tried it out, but I know they have split screen. And you can launch your own private servers and stuff from the game and create your own server in the game or whatnot. And that goes for both PC and Xbox users. And you can actually, create your own server. And that actually probably helps even more when you host your own server. That it helps with, the gameplay and who gets to play in your games and stuff like that. But, yeah, like I said, Still, people were complaining that originally the games were only 12.39 gigabytes combined and that they're 62.87 gigabytes of storage used now. That's because of all the extra, the up-resing a little bit, and like I said, the video footage with the audio. The video and the audio, that's a lot of footage. That's why they're bigger. People don't understand that. People didn't look into that yet. I found that out right away when I watched, and I'm like, oh, look, there's Star Wars movies in these games. And I'm like, okay. And back at that time, like I said, I did not remember Star Wars movie footage in these games. So they must have added that as well. And I bet you that's the key reason why these games are bigger. And the whole file size is bigger, but it's only 60-something gigabytes. Compared that to your trying to think of the name, Call of Duties and Battlefields and other games that are super big to download and install and multiple directories. I think they did a great job with this. I unlike all these other haters out there, and I'm going to say haters in this context, unlike all the other haters, I think the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection is right up most of your nostalgia alley, especially if you don't really care about playing online with other people. It is very, 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 very playable by yourself. Trust me. And if you do play with other people, just run your own server or something, within the game and stuff like that. Why not? It's not a big deal, but I highly recommend it. I think it's fun to play. And I told some friends at work about it, and some of them will hopefully buy it, and they'll play and they'll have fun with it again. And I'm going to probably be playing maybe some of it today. We'll see, because I've been on a like a Dragon Infinite Wealth kick again, especially now that I'm playing on Dondoko Island more. I'll get into that more a little bit later, but otherwise I'll be playing a lot more Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection, because that game is the bomb. Or I should say those games are the bomb. And 2 for the price of 1. And what I originally bought them for was $31.49 because they had a sale price on them. Now they're back up to $34.99 or something like that. So not too much more money, but they're worth it. They're for $35, whatever with tax, whatever it is. What was it, 36 something, or I don't even know. I'm not gonna look at my old receipts, but whatever it was with tax and all that, it's still well worth it compared to when I used to buy them for $50 a piece. Back in the day, they were like $49.99, $50 a piece for the Star Wars Battlefront collection, or the Star Wars Battlefront and then Battlefront 2 later. You're saving yourself a ton of money on nostalgia right there. And they work. They work and they play. And I think when you go to that first menu and it shows you, do you want to play Star Wars Battlefront or Battlefront 2? I think it's nice and clean. I think it's perfect the way it is. I think it does what it needs to do. And getting into the menus, they're easy to go into. They're easy to search through. They're easy to do what you got to do to get into your battles and stuff. And the flying still sucks in these games. I tried flying some ships in the games. You can watch my video of me playing Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection and doing the flying. It sucks, but it feels like I'm actually flying these starfighters and stuff, unlike the newer Star Wars Battlefront games from EA that EA created, because when I tried flying in that, I was like slow as mud. I didn't like it at all. But these are, great. Unlike Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered Collection, which was done remastered by Aspyr. Now those were dog shit. Those were major dog shit, and who knows if they'll ever get fixed as much as they should get fixed, but those were major dog shit. But we got more to talk about with those games from Aspyr, the Tomb Raider Collection 1 through 3. All I can tell you was I was a little hesitant to pre-order and buy Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection, but because I wanted to save the $3, I pre-ordered the game the day before it came out, so I got that little sliver of a sale price. Not that it makes any difference. And surprise, surprise, I got some gold out of it. So Aspyr, you did a decent job on this. I don't consider Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection a hot mess like other people are saying, and that's only the PC players. That's only the Steam players and PC players. On the Xbox side, it seems quite fine. Quite fine indeed. Now, did this also come out for PlayStation? I don't think this came out for PlayStation. I don't hear nothing about PlayStation or anything like that. I don't even know if Switch or anything had it. I'd have to look that up. I don't know if... I'm going to look that up now. Excuse me, folks, on the audio side. Well, you can't see this on the PC side either, but... collection... what's it available for? Let's see here. I can just click into here. Let's see here. And of course, also in the classic collections, they added that bonus maps and bonus people and stuff like that, bonus heroes. Jabba's Palace is pretty fun. You know, Bepson, Cloud City, Verhaer Harbor, all this stuff is that they added is pretty cool. Let's see here. These aren't the droids you're looking for. StarWars. It's not showing where the... Wow. This is Spire page for the StarWars Battlefront collection. They have everything on here. They're showing all the stuff, but they're not showing... They're not showing where they're available from. And that seems like a misstep for them. Let's see. Now include on all platforms. Okay. Okay, it says here, okay, it's on everything. PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, PC, via Steam, and Nintendo Switch. Oh, okay. So it's on everything. Because they didn't do a very good job of promoting on where these games were. But, you know, like I said, as an Xbox gamer, I got them on Xbox. Like I said, I would have bought them on PC if they were through the Xbox PC store. I would have definitely bought Star Wars Battlefront, the Battlefront collection, but they chose to just do Steam for a reason. I don't know, because Steam is like the biggest PC store out there, so I'm guessing that's why. But why not put it on multiple stores? I don't know if that hinders sales or whatnot. Or I don't know. I don't know what the thinking or why that happens. I would like to talk to people on that. I'd like to talk to Phil Spencer and ask him that question. I'm like, why do a lot of these PC games only go on like one PC store and not on like multiple PC stores? Like, why can't we get the Star Wars and a bunch of these other games on both the PC and Xbox side and Steam? You know, I don't understand that. Wouldn't that just make more money for the companies? I don't know. The next game, the next giant game, I think I put most of the giant games first that I paid a lot of money for. So all these games, that's from Jurassic Park, Star Wars to this next game, these were all the higher price tag games, but still on sale. So this next game that I purchased that I seen a lot of gameplay footage of and a lot of people playing it and liking it a lot, but I'm like, oh, I'm not going to spend... $70 on this collection? I think it was still 70. I think it might be down to 60 something. But the Prince of Persia The Lost Crown by Ubisoft. It looked good. And I'm not a Prince of Persia fan. I tried playing the older ones on the 360. They weren't that good. I was never really big in the Prince of Persia. But the Prince of Persia The Lost Crown seemed really interesting in its gameplay and how it was conceived and the side scrolling and all that. So I said, I'm going to buy it. I'm not going to spend $60, $70 on it, but I'll get it when it's really cheap. And sure enough, strangely enough, on the same time as everything else was coming out in front of me, it was like, oh, there's a sale on Prince of Persia The Lost Crown on Xbox.com for only the Xbox, mind you, not for PC again, which I think is a lost bit of revenue, unless if maybe they didn't want to add it to the Xbox PC because they know Microsoft will put it so you can get it for Xbox or PC and you could get it for both and they'll lose a little bit of extra money. Plus, they published Prince of Persia in their own Ubisoft store as well, so that's another reason why The Lost Crown's only in the Ubisoft PC store, because they think people are just going to pay them the money to get it on PC, even though they should put it on Steam and Xbox PC and stuff. It's greediness. It's oh, I don't want to pay the 30% or whatever. And yes, okay. Anyways, $60, $70 I was not going to buy this game for, but it's on sale now, which that sale could be gone by the time you hear this. I bought Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown for $29.99. That's a good sale. $30? Sure thing. I will give them $30 for this game. I think it's a good price for $30. I think the people that made the game deserve the $30 damn dollars that they're going to be getting for it, or less because of the 30% from Microsoft and stuff like that. But $30, I can swallow $30 for that game. Depends on how much I play it or whenever I get to play it and stuff or not. It's going to be in my collection, my digital collection on my Xbox. And if I ever want to go and play it, I can go and play it anytime I want. Not a big deal. So $30 as of I'm talking. And like I said, this could change. I'll let's check here. Let's check. Let's go to Xbox.com. I will do this for you guys. I might as well just keep Xbox.com open here and stuff. Because a lot of these other game titles are coming from Xbox.com as well. Why can't I get into Xbox.com? Did I type it in wrong? Let's see here. Xbox. Oh, maybe I put Xbox XOM. Xbox.xom. Let's go to Prince of Persia, even though I could just go into my wish list because I already did that. Why don't I go into my wish list? Why am I doing this? Why am I making extra work for myself? See, people, I make extra work for myself. Go to my wish list because I saved it all in there. Oh, they got other games on sale as well. No, I should have went in the wish list. They got Control Ultimate Edition on sale, really cheap. They got for PC. I could get... Wait, this is PC, right? I don't know. And then No More Heroes 3 for Windows PC, even though it's on Game Pass anyways. Do I really want to play No More Heroes 3 again? Maybe. That was fun. Let's see here. Oh, this might not have the price, though. That might be the thing. But I could click on it. But I already own it. Oh, but wait, never mind. Yep, $29.99. What did I pay for? $29.99. And then if you want to get the deluxe edition, it's $35.99 still. So, and it ends in 8 days. So when you're listening to this, 6 days you got left. So you got a week. You could save $20 on Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown on Xbox. Or if you want to pay and get the deluxe edition, you paid $35.99. On Xbox.com, you can get Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. So it ends in 8 days, folks. So as you're hearing this, the sale continues. So there's nothing to worry about. Let's see about the Jurassic Park collection. I know I got this normal price, so it doesn't really matter. Let's see here. $29.99. That's still $29.99. Okay. What else was there? That was on another thing, right? Oh, yeah, the Star Wars Battlefront collection, Front Classic Collection, that went to normal price. That went to its normal, what was it, $34.99, which not bad at all. So don't worry about that. And like I said, the Lost Crown's not going to be on sale for a bit. Then I purchased all these games going forward. I know I'm taking a long time of all these games that I'm purchasing. I purchased these 3 Final Fantasy games that finally got dropped on Xbox and Xbox PC store as well, which was a big surprise to me because I never thought this would happen. Square Enix dropping some Final Fantasy decentness. Now, no, these are the older Final Fantasies. These are Final Fantasy 13, 13-2, and Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13. But I said to myself, if I want to get back into some good old Final Fantasy, I did really like Final Fantasy 13 for what I played of it on the 360 back in the day when it first came out. I played a ton of it. I was just bad at the game because I didn't know how to play any Final Fantasies or JRPG, turn-based JRPG type of games. But now after playing the Like a Dragon games and stuff series and the Persona games and stuff like that, I really figured out how to play these games and how to play them right. Now, Final Fantasies are probably still a little bit different than any of the other games, of the Personas, of the Yakuza, Like a Dragon games and stuff like that, but still, they probably have the same realm of what goes on in them with their HP, MP, stuff like that. And I never really got that before, and that's why I kept losing for these boss battles and stuff. Now that I understand how to play them more, I can do more grinding. I can do more of this and more of that. I can do a lot of stuff that I never did before and play the games and enjoy these games, because I did like Final Fantasy. I liked the story that was going on in Final Fantasy 13, and I wanted to play the whole game, but because of a young Mr. Mike that just didn't understand how to play it, and I didn't know how to teach myself how to play it at the time, I just gave up on it. So now that these are back and they were only really cheap, so Final Fantasy 13 is only $6.39 right now. Final Fantasy 2 or Fantasy 13-2 is $7.99, and Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13 is $7.99. So those are all super on sale, and they're all super on sale, except they're ending. So, okay. The sale, you save $9.60 on Final Fantasy 13, and it ends today. So as you're hearing this, the sale is over. You will not be able to play Final Fantasy 13. Well, you can. You can still buy it. It'll still be cheap, but you won't get it the price that I'm getting it at. I'm guessing that's the same thing. Yep. Final Fantasy 13-2 ends tonight, so you won't be seeing that. You save $12 on that. So hopefully you guys already seen these, or you look at your Xbox PC store and see what kind of games are coming out on there. Same thing with Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13. I'm surprised these sales on these Final Fantasy games ended so quickly. I thought they would have put them out another week like the other games, but good thing I saw them, and good thing I purchased them, because I can play these on my ROG Ally. They're going to be perfect handheld games to play. And then maybe sometimes if I want to do a stream or something or play them on my main PC, I can do that as well. So it's not like it's going to be a big deal or anything, or a big, thing. It's just more games that I get to play, more games for my ROG Ally and stuff like that. And that's going to be cool, because they're going to look and play amazingly well on my ROG Ally, because these are such older games, older Final Fantasy games. And these aren't the latest and greatest. These aren't the, Final Fantasy Remake, Final Fantasy 7 Remake 2, whatever it's called. I don't know. It's not that. It's these older ones that actually came out when Square Enix actually put out Final Fantasy games on Xbox and stuff like that, which maybe going forward, hopefully, maybe this is why they put them out on the PC and Xbox on the games, on Xbox side, because Microsoft and Phil Spencer and Xbox, I should say, were trying to make deals with Square Enix and a lot of Japanese studios that Sony kept ringing around their finger, seeing if they can get some of these Final Fantasies and newer Final Fantasies back on Xbox eventually. And maybe this is a little like taste in the water for Square Enix to see how many Final Fantasy games they can sell on Xbox and PC, or see if people notice them on GamePass and they're like, ooh, let's try out these Final Fantasy games, because I do have a more modern Final Fantasy game for the Xbox One, that one with the car. I forgot I think that was 14 or something like that. I never played it yet, but these are going to be great. I like these. These are going to be really interesting. It has the lead protagonist is a female character. Why not? I'm crazy about that, especially about the female lead character. But yeah, they're all on sale now, except for when you're hearing this podcast, listening and watching this podcast, those will be over with. So sorry to all you guys. I'm sure there'll be more sales going down the road, and still, they're pretty much going to still be pretty cheap. They're all going to be like, what, $20 going forward? So not $19.99 or something. Still pretty damn cheap for these games, so why not? Another game that I purchased on Steam, on the Steam sale / EA Steam sale for $1.99, mind you, a classic, SimCity 3000 Unlimited. Yes, a game, one of those games where I originally couldn't play on my modern day computer because you needed, those games were originally, games like SimCity 3000 Unlimited and stuff were programmed in 32-bit era for processors and stuff, and they never worked on a 64-bit processor, really. And I guess they did some coding behind the scenes to get them to work and run on the 64-bit processor. And for $1.99, SimCity 3000, I'd get back in my SimCity crazy stupid fun. Now, note, I got something called Cities Skylines. That's fun. That's modern fun. But this is going back to the beginning. This is harboring. Am I saying it right? Harboring back to the old days. The old days when a young Mr. Mike only had a shitty E-Machines computer with no RAM, no nothing in it, no graphics to speak of. And I used to play this a lot back in the day. SimCity 3000s and the SimCities in general, and the Sims in general, which makes me want to get back into playing the Sims, but I'm pretty much trying to keep myself away from the Sims for a while still, because I don't want to lose myself in the Sims world again, especially if I want to play them on PC. Oh, no. Especially with all the expansion packs that I would have to buy, that'd be expensive, because you can't buy them all on a disc anymore. One big disc that has everything. No. Another game I bought a couple weeks ago for under $5 on the Xbox PC side. And I don't think I have that on here. No, I do not. But I can look it up, because why not? And of course, Xbox.com doesn't want me to look up anything, apparently. Wow. Something weird with that search category. So, Brotato. Oop, I spelled it wrong. That's why. So, Brotato. Come on, Brotato. There we go. So I purchased Brotato. And you can play it on PC or Xbox Series X and S or Xbox One. It came out on 1/29/2024. I heard about a little bit about it, and then I found out more about it later. Oh, they even have a Brotato plus Space Gladiators bundle. Huh. Oh, so that's the Brotato plus... Oh, so that's why it's a little bit more money. I did not know about the Space Gladiators bundle until now. Oh, I should have bought it. Oh, well. Anyways, Brotato. Fun game. Very fun game. Only $5. So $4.49 plus taxes. It was like $5 something for me with taxes. I think that's it's on sale. Save 50 cents on sale. Okay. So even if it ever went off sale, 50 cents ain't going to break the bank. So it's a cheap game. It's a fun game. It's got a little bit of that art style of Binding of Isaac art style meets what am I trying to say? Vampire Survivors type of style. It is really fun. It's a really fun thing, and my wish list ain't available now. What happened to my wish list? Oh, there you go. Something's going on still with Xbox.com. Microsoft and Xbox.com. But anyways, Brotato. Fun little Vampire Survivors meets Binding of Isaac fun with the art style and the feel to it. It's fun to play. You just move your character around, shoot, stab, whatever, blow up evil things, and they come in waves. They come in waves of characters, and then You blow them up, upgrade your character, upgrade the weapons, stuff like that. Really a fun game. Definitely highly recommend purchasing if I was you. If you just want that little game to just go back to once in a while and just play and play and play, you can spend hours playing Brotato. Very fun. It's by Seven Studio. So probably indie studio. And then these two games, I bought these out of a whim because I wanted something really cheap and crazy and some easy type of games that I'm like, shit, if I never play these games, who cares? Because I bought them really cheap, and it came in a double pack. It came with 2 games. And I don't know what the hell these games are, to tell you the truth. They're Japanese games. It's Initial 2, New Saga, and I'm gonna screw up this name so badly, and Suan Yun Sword Bundle. So they were both separate games originally, but then they had the bundle here that I got for $15. Now it's like $24.99, but when I got it, it was $14.99. So now they're $10 more expensive, but still not a bad. I never played them yet. And you're still saving yourself some money because the Zun Yan Sword, the Gate of Ferment, is $24.99 single by itself, and Initial 2 New Stage is $20 by itself. But anywho, I wanted to get at least Initial 2 New Stage. It's by eHome Entertainment Development. I don't know if anybody knows anything about it. The reviews are mid. They're at 3.7. A lot of people are saying because it's a short game. They said the main campaign is only 6 hours. So for the price of the game, for $20, that ain't bad for 6 hours for a game. And it's like a hack and slash game. I was looking at it, and it's basically you're hacking and slashing. You got your main character, whatever, and you're hacking and slashing, going through the environments. It's a Japanese game. They're both Japanese games, and I'm like, freaking why not? Why not just play them like what they are? And then this other one, I don't know what this other one is. It's like a open world type of game. I have no idea. It just looks Japanese as shit. And I said to myself, well, if it's in the bundle with the other game and it's cheaper, like I said, it was only $14.99. Or what was it? What did I say? 14? Yeah, it was only $14.99 at the time with both games. Because if I would have bought the game separate, it would have been like $20 for the one and stuff like that. So I said, well, I don't really care about the Zan Yan Sword and the Gate of Ferment, but if it comes with the Initial 2 New Stage game, and I'm only paying $14.99 compared to $20, why not just get the bundle? It just makes sense, right? And I know nothing about it. Let's see here. The English dubbed, led by Kira Buckland, Near Autonoma to Be, and Christine Marie Cabanos, Dead or Alive, or comma Marie Rose. The game music is made by Cyber Joker Japan and Strawberry Hill Music United States. What the hell? Okay. That's what they said about the Initial 2. New Stage is a popular fast-paced hack and slash feature action RPG. Play a captain of the Ludix soldiers, fight side by side with other 2 companions, and reveal mysterious secrets hidden by both sides for decade. The game contains 10 chapters of stories and full voiced in English and Japanese. The Japanese dubbing is led by, like I said, Kajumi Ri and Uchida Maya. Anyways, they were cheap and they're Japanese and they're hack and slash. And I'm like, you know what, Mr. Mike, why don't we just buy them? $14.99. I made a stupid just out of the blue purchase. Why not? What is it going to hurt? And if I ever want to do like a let's play or something, I want to just play something really hack and slashy weird, there I go. I got a game like that. So Initial 2 New Stage and Zun Yun Sword Battle. They're $20. what did I say? They were $24.99 now. When I got it, it was like $14.99, but still they got the bundle on sale if you want to get the bundle. And it, or if you want to go full price on those games and get them separately, $20 for the one and $24.99 for the other. So do the math. Like I said, I just bought these games on a whim because I'm like, I just need something stupid for the side game, Why? Because I'm crazy. That's why. And this last game collection of games, this major big beast of games of this collection, even though originally I bought only 3 of the games in the collection, and then I found out the whole collection was on sale, and then when I bought the rest of the collection, I got it really cheap as well. Command & Conquer Ultimate Collection on Steam, which I'm thinking it's still going to be on sale right now, around $16 or less. So if you listen to this on Monday, you still probably could get it for $16 or less, or it's going to go up to what, $20 or something, or whatever it was. And that's the Command & Conquer Ultimate Collection. That means all the original Command & Conquer games, people. That means you got Command & Conquer, Red Alert 2, of course, also their side stuff too, their bonus content and all that, their DLC or whatever you want to call it. Red Alert 2, Red Alert 3, Red Alert 3 Years Revenge, stuff like that. Command & Conquer Tiberium Wars, Command & Conquer Renegade. I'm trying to think of all of them. I think Command & Conquer 4 is the last one. Command & Conquer Generals, another great one. All very crappy looking because they're not the remastered versions, because the Command & Conquer remastered collection is the games of Command & Conquer and Command & Conquer Red Alert in its own collection. It's not included in this game collection, but it's their own games. And those go for what, $20 or something on Steam, maybe on sale right now. And those are the remastered ones. These are all the original games. These were all the original Command & Conquer games that were, if you had a Windows 98 machine up to Windows 7 on the 32-bit chipset, you could play them all. Once I got went to 64-bit chipset on my computer, I could not play any of the games anymore because of the coding. And then I found out later, recently, that these games were originally only being sold off the EA Play Store, most of these games, that of course they made the code, they did the background coding so they work on modern machines. I did not know that, because originally I owned these games on discs. I have the Command & Conquer Ultimate Collection, or whatever it was called, the Ultimate whatever playable collection. I have that on discs in a box somewhere. It's packed away somewhere in my house. That's a collector's probably box right now, because you can't play them unless you've got a 32-bit Windows machine lying around somewhere. But I was very surprised and stunned, and then luckily I just luckily I read video game news all the time. I read all these websites, and when I heard about all these games, first I heard about the 3 games that were out, and I'm like, ooh, and they were only $1.50, $1.99 a piece. They were like $1.99 a piece, and I bought like Command & Conquer Red Alert 2 and 3 and Tiberium Wars, and then I found out the rest of them were also on sale and on Steam and in a collection called the Ultimate Collection. So I typed in Command & Conquer Ultimate Collection. Sure enough, all those games were in the collection, from Generals to Tiberium Wars to this and that. And I'm like, are these all playable on my computer? Are these actually here and they're actually playable on a modern day PC? And I'm like, they have to be, because if they're being sold on Steam, all these games are always tested and they're always known to be made to be able to be played going forward in time on computers, on computer systems and stuff. So I'm like, you're telling me I can play all my favorite Command & Conquer games from yesteryear on my modern day computing machine, even though they're not remastered? I didn't care. So I bought the entire Command & Conquer Ultimate Collection, I paid like less than 16 because I already own the remasters of Command & Conquer and Red Alert, and Red Alert, which Steam, another great thing about Steam, purchasing games on Steam, because they know you have those games in your library. They consider those games that you already purchased. So they take off money off the collection. And then I already purchased 3 of those games from that collection that were in that collection that I didn't know about, because when it came up weirdly, when I searched for it, it only came up with those 3 games, and I bought those separately. So it took off that money from those games, and I got it for like, what was it, $9, $9.99 or something for the rest of the Command & Conquer collection. So it came to $16 or less. And now I'm like, holy shit, now I can play all these Command & Conquer games. Then I went and tested them, and they worked, and I was like, excellent. But like I said, this is stuff we will talk about in the games that I've played in the past week's section coming up next, because I got more to talk about some of these games. But hey, like I said, I just wanted to go through all the games in this list, and as you can tell, made this podcast really long talking about all these games that I purchased. And it was a big haul. Paid a little bit of money, but a big haul. And these are my games going forward into the future for my added back catalog. And yeah, gonna have a lot of fun. Even though there might not be any big titles coming out in the near future, I'm gonna have fun with these games. Yes. So next, why don't we get into something called the games I have played in the past weeks? And then we can move on to other stuff, because let me see here. I already talked about the games that I purchased in the past weeks. And like I said, there are, before I end this segment, there are still game sales going on crazy like on between Microsoft and Xbox and Steam. I don't know about the Epic Games Store or the Ubisoft Store or anything else, but maybe you want to check them out as well. But I personally don't buy my PC games or any games off of those other sites. I only go to Steam and Xbox, or PC Xbox. It's hard to say. I should just say PC Xbox games stores. So, but a lot of major sales going on now. I would highly check them out. Definitely check them out. So definitely check them out. And why don't I get into the games that I played in the past weeks while I drink some orange juice, because my throat is now crapified again. Here we go.
The games that have been played in the past week.
Sorry about that.
That's a good game.
Enjoy your gaming.
Oop, that was my bad. If you heard that, which I'm sure you did, I hit my control arm for my microphone because I was putting the cup back, and I hit it because the cup is right behind the control arm. And now I'm getting a thing of water because I ran out of orange juice. Because I have to coat my throat with all this liquids because my throat is so now dry and crackly because I talk too much. Hence why the podcast gets too long. It's because of me, folks. It's only because of me. I make everything too long and drawn out. But you know what? I take my time. I try to make it so that everybody has a interesting time. And you get your information from me going forward. So, okay. Cracking the neck, cracking the fingers if you can hear it. Yeah, it might be loud enough for you to hear. I don't know. Crack the neck, crack the fingers. Here are the games that I have played in the past weeks, as you have always known and will know for at least the near future, because I'm sure I'm going to be done playing this game in the next handful of weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks. I don't know. I don't want to say anything because you never know. Something could take a little longer than the other chapters, but I'm on chapter 12 of 14 right now on Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. As I continue to go forward on my Yakuza Like Me series and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth gameplay of the story. And sure, I'm doing some side stuff now as well, but this week I'm not having a middle taped show of Yakuza Like Me, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. But the following week I will, because I have a bonus episode for that I just recorded of over the weekend, because I was playing a shit ton of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and then I got into some Dodoku Island and everything else, and I'm like, okay, I'll make an episode of this. So I did, and it's a bonus episode, but I did say I wasn't going to put it out this week, but I'll put it out next week, because that's how I am. But I am getting close to being in this game. We're pretty far into this game. We're getting up to that. We're at that climax already. We're at the high point now, where we're figuring shit out, where we're hopefully going to learn some other stuff, and then it's going to come back down again, and we're going to beat some bad guys up. I am leveling up my characters the best that I can. That's what I'm currently going to probably be doing most of this week, leveling up my characters on the Ichiban side again. I really want to get them up to level 80. That is a big task. Big task. I got to do a lot of grinding for that. Will it happen? I don't know. If I get them up to at least 65, that should be decent enough for me. And when I get them up to that until Friday, but my goal is trying to get them up to 80. All to 80, at least up close to 80 on their levels. Why am I doing that? Because achievements and, these bosses do get harder and harder, and other characters get harder and harder, and I want to make my team a super team, and my other team a super team, so when I play the ending of this game, I could just boom right through it and then have fun just watching what happens in the story. Because the story it's dark, but it's good, and it's fun. And I have a lot of fun playing Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. And now that I'm back in the Hawaiian Islands again, I made a special side game save as well that I will go and continue forward with my Dondoku Island and maybe some Sujimon stuff if I decide to do any of that Sujimon stuff, and if I actually take it seriously. But mostly it's for my Dondoku Island, which I've been also getting hooked on. It's that side game in the game of Infinite Wealth that is like Animal Crossing-ish in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, and a lot of better ways as well. And I got hooked on it. I played it all last night. I was supposed to record this podcast on Saturday night, but then I sat down on the couch, I pulled out my Asus ROG Ally, and I played Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. First I did a whole dungeon crawl through again to grind through the dungeon, and then I went on to Dodoku Island, and then I'm like, oh shit, I'm stuck playing this all night. And I actually played that game until like 4 a.m. I was playing all that. So I was up till 4 a.m. Then I went to bed and I woke up at 8 a.m, pretty much. So I'm crazy right now. I should be like, I'm a little tired. I can feel it now a little bit of yawning and stuff like that. But shit, I should be mad tired right now. But I did take a nap during the afternoon as well yesterday, because when I'm laying on the couch after I eat, watching some movies on the TV and stuff, and playing some video games in the semi-dark living room and stuff, where I have my cool overhead lights. I got these cool LED overhead lights in my whole living room, which I have them glowing a nice light blue and stuff, so it makes it like a theater at night or something. It's really cool. It's a really cool ambiance in there. But I fall right asleep on that couch. I just pass right out. Being an older guy, and a lot of older people will tell you the same thing. You just pass right out. It doesn't matter if you were awake 2 seconds ago and you're playing a game or watching a movie. You'll pass right out. You'll fall asleep. And it's bad because that couch is bad for my back, my neck, all that stuff. So it's not really the best thing for me, but hey, I still do it. But Been playing a lot of that, playing a lot of Dodoku Island. Like I said, I'm on chapter 12 of 14. We're getting very close to the ending of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I can foresee the ending coming sooner than later, and that just means then I'll have to have another game to play after that. And until Ryogoku Studios, I think I just call them Ryogoku Studios, until they announce another Like a Dragon game or another game in that universe, or maybe they'll remaster that zombie game that never came out here in the States that I guess people didn't really like, when Kiryu was in an alternate reality and everybody was a zombie horde or something. That looked pretty interesting. I was watching that. I'm like, that looks pretty interesting. But it never came out here. You never know. Ryogoku Studios might have something for us. Or, Atlas might have another big Persona game coming out sometime. They're always going to be pumping those games out. They're easy to pump out for at least the Like a Dragon games. So, who knows? Maybe we'll see some stuff sooner than later. I don't know. Or maybe we'll see some, I don't know. I was always hoping for a new Judgment game in the Judgment series. It got the 2 Judgment games. I would like another one. Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, also another game I've been playing immensely on and off. It's a great game to just get into, play a bunch of rounds, and then get out of. Brotato. I told you already, Brotato is the game that is like Vampire Survivors meets The Binding of Isaac, with the graphic style, the feel of it, and the gameplay, and it is fun as hell. And I highly recommend picking up and playing it, especially if you're achievement whore. It doesn't give you the biggest achievements, but you get little achievements, and it's fun. It's a fun game. Highly recommend Brotato. Also been playing some Killer Instinct on the Rogue Ally, because, sometimes I got to get in some with that fighting, and Killer Instinct's just been really fun. A fun fighting game to play lately. I really like the fighting styles in the Killer Instinct series. Playing as Django, or I like playing a lot as what's her name? I forgot her name already. Oh, shoot. It's on the tip of my tongue, too. I'm trying to think of it. Orchid. Yeah, I like to play Orchid. She's hot and badass, and she has that stick that she kicks everybody's ass with. Yes, played a bunch of that on the Rogue Ally, which plays great, even though it doesn't want to go to full screen. It's still got the borders, and I'm going to try to figure out how to get that borderless. There should be a way. It used to be borderless, and then for some weird reason it got a border on it. I don't know. I can figure it out. Excuse me for the yawn. I gotta shake my face. Wake my face up a bit. Also been checking out a little bit. It's not my it's not really a favorite fighting gaming series for me. It's not even really the best fighting games, but it was something I wanted to try out. It's cartoonish. It's a fighting game. It's Guilty Gear Strive. I've been playing it on GamePass because it's on GamePass, and Cloud PC because you can play it via the cloud. And I've been playing it on that via GamePass and the cloud on PC as well. Been doing it for some extra achievements and trying to do some weird fighting. It's really rudimentary, and it's not really for me. It's the controls and the gameplay seems really for a Japanese fighting game, and I guess it's based on an anime. I don't know. Can somebody quote me on that? Somebody leave a comment in the comment section here at youtube.com/OldFreakyGamer on GamezAttack podcast episode 25 or whatever, or just in general, because I think Guilty Gear is an anime series, like the Dragon Ball series and stuff like that, but I just never really get into it. But I've been trying to do a little this and that, just been playing it little here, little there. I don't know. I like how the characters are drawn and stuff and how they move. It's just Their fighting styles suck. They suck. I don't know how much more I'm going to play of it, but like I said, it's on Game Pass. I downloaded it to my PC for some reason. I think it's because I just wanted it easier. But I've been playing it also in the cloud, and it's just like, try it out, play a little of it, get out of it. Of course, been starting to play some of that Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection that just came out Thursday of last week. And I got it for the Series X, and it plays great on the Series X. Even the online is pretty good, and like I said, I only crashed like a handful of times online, and it's only on the online part that it ever crashed on me. It never crashed in the main campaigns or the skirmish modes or anything. It only crashed via the online. So it's got to be something with the online. Maybe they screwed up some code, or they have to update something or whatnot. But otherwise, I love it. It's a blast. Get it? With a blaster. It's a blast from the blaster of the past. Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection. Amazing. It looks amazing. It sounds amazing. It plays amazing. And they got like I said, the movie footage in the games. And it's like, well, you're watching the movies and playing the games, and I don't remember that. So that's why it's so large, because of all that video footage. I'm sure of it. It has to be. Because people were complaining, why is these games so big? Why do you care? We got gigabit internet where you can download it via anything. And why would you care? Why would you care? And you download it once, you don't have to worry about it. Games are big. Even the older games are big because they do stuff with them. And new code is bigger. And a lot of stuff they do makes the code bigger. And if you're adding videos and stuff and up-resing, I'm sure it's going to make it bigger too. So stop complaining, people. People always love to complain. And all those people on Steam that are complaining about the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection online for that, okay, whatever. Sure, Aspire messed up a little bit. But considering them a total failure and saying that they really fucked up the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection release, I don't think so. I think maybe they only had limited funds to put on, and they didn't think so many people would be wanting to buy it to play online with it on the PC. And plus, they have the thing where you can make your own PC, a server to play it on. So I don't see what the biggest problem is, but that's just me. Like I said, it works fine on the Xbox side. PC side, I don't know. That's all in your guys' wheelhouse. But like I said, it plays and it runs way better. It looks way better, and it plays just like I used to like playing it compared to the Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered Collection that's totally broken and looks eh. And then, like I said, I dabbled a little bit in when I got it, this Jurassic Park Classic Collection. Played a bunch of those Classic Collection games in the Jurassic Park old school games, and yes, they are bullshit, but yes, I will learn how to play those and play them decently and have some fun in that Classic Collection nostalgia. It's nostalgia. If I can't get physical copies of Jurassic Park Classic Collection or Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection, get them digitally and cheaply. It's not bad at all. Even though I do have Jurassic Park. I do have Jurassic Park somewhere in the house. I think it's filed away with my other games, my Jurassic Park. Plus, I have it digitally. I have a ROM of Jurassic Park and all the other Jurassic Park games. So, yeah. Now they got to do the Terminator games. They got to put all the classic Terminator games out. At least the original Terminator 2, Judgment Day on limited run games. If they do that and they make it that version digitally available on Xbox or Xbox and Xbox PC, oh, I'll definitely get that. That was hot garbage, but it was fun too. Even though I never got past, I think I got past once, the truck. And I remember, I got to rewatch the video, but I remember how to get that, how to beat that truck sequence. There's a good way to get past that truck sequence where the T-1000 chases you in the big truck in the drainage, the storm drain area. Yeah, that's fun. But those are the games I played. Those are the games I played. A lot of games. Not as many games as I got. I also forgot I should have put this in here. Why did I put this in here? There's more games. I played I got to put this in here because I'm stupid. I played a bunch of the Command and Conquer series. So, whoops, that's not and Conquer Ultimate Collection. There we go. Why did it go on? And that's going to be, that's going to be PC. There we go. Command and Conquer Ultimate Collection. Yes, I forgot to add that in there. Stupid me, folks. Stupid me. Yes, that too. Why did I forget to talk about that? So those turn-based strategy or turn-based RTS games, real-time strategy, I should say, not turn-based, but real-time strategy games, look like crap in some ways. Some of them look better than others. Like Command & Conquer Red Alert 2 looks better than Command & Conquer Red Alert 3. Red Alert 3 looks like a big, giant, pixely mess. Those pixels get really big and they look really messy. Command & Conquer 2 looks nice and slick. Command & Conquer Generals looks beautiful. And all these games, they all fuck. Oh, also Tiberium Wars. Command & Conquer Tiberium Wars and stuff, right? I'm trying to look it up again. Command & Conquer Tiberium Wars, yes. That looks amazing as well. And it can play in high resolution, but it really fucks with your resolution on your computers. Your computers go blinking like crazy. They go flash, big flash, this, that. When you change anything in the settings and how they run and how everything goes, they really fuck a lot up with the dual monitor. And note, I do know I have a Windows 10, and if I had a Windows 11 machine or operating system, I think it runs the dual screen stuff better. But I'm not getting Windows 11 on my main machine. Maybe I'm going to get Windows 12 when it eventually comes out, and I'll put that on my main machine eventually. But yeah, it really freaks your... If you got a giant 32-inch widescreen monitors like mine, and they go up to 2,000-something resolution here and there, they're not 4K at all or anything, but they're big, and they can go up high in resolution, and they got fast refresh rates. They freak the fuck out when you change any settings in those Command & Conquer games. They just go... And I'm watching, I'm like, holy shit, there's like strobe lights going on my computer screens. And then they go get to their playable states, and I'm like, oh shit. And then capturing them, when I did that video, holy shit, that was a task in itself. But then I learned how they work, and I found out OBS is a lot better now at capturing game screens like those, and those are perfect games for screen capture compared to my regular screen capture. Because I got my regular screen capture, and then they got screen capture or game app capture, app screen capture. Using that is a lot better than just regular screen capture. When you get to capture the app, it works a lot better than capturing the screen. So I am going to be testing that stuff out, because what I am planning to do, and with all those games and stuff, you can talk whatever you want to talk, but I played Command & Conquer 2, 3, Yuri's Revenge, Generals, stuff like that, and Tiberium Wars. Those are the games I played in that collection so far, so I played a bunch of it. I am going to continue to play a shit ton of it down the road, because why freaking not? Because it's Command & Conquer, people. And that is my ultimate favorite game and game series ever, because that's what I grew up on mostly. It wasn't mostly console games in the start, because I didn't have a PS2 till later. I had a PS1 eventually, but it was mostly PC, early PC games and days on Windows 95, 98, hand-me-down stuff, Windows XP. That's what I played. That's all I played on old laptops, PCs. Playing the Command & Conquer games was my shit. That was my shit. That's all I did. for hours and hours and days, weeks, months, and years. But now they're all back. They're all hitting my craving button, even more than Minecraft, because Minecraft is my nostalgia of my older years, but in my younger years, Command & Conquer games, and excuse me for my nose because it's going crazy again, so excuse me for trying to breathe it through my nose. So, going forward, like I said, or like I'm going to say now, because those were all the games that I played in the past weeks. Now I can officially say that's done and over with that list. Going forward, after I finish playing the main game, I'm talking about the main part of it. Now, like I said, I'll still play some Dodoku Island on the side and maybe some Sujimon stuff if I really feel like it. But otherwise, after the main game is done, and even if I even if I get sick of Dodoku Island and stuff, but after the main game is done of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth and I'm done streaming that, my next game collection that I want to go and do a series of streaming for the time being is a nice, series / episode series. It's going to be a series. I'm pretty sure. It's going to be the Command & Conquer Ultimate Collection. I'm going to play a bunch or all of those Command & Conquer games. Even Renegade I'll get back into a little bit. And we'll get back into that, and I will learn how to capture each of those games. I'll go into each one of those games, and I'll capture, we'll play, I'll do a bunch of stuff in them, and I'll have some fun in each of those titles. And that'll be the new series in the future going forward after I beat Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. And God help us if this all goes good. And I got some plans for it. Eventually I got to create the starters for it, for that. And I got some ideas on what I want to do for the games collection, my gimmicks. And it is going to get warmer out. It's going to get warmer and hotter. So who knows on how that's going to go forward. Because then I want to play less PC games in the summer because I'll be outside more, spring and summer. So, but that's what I'm planning for next is a nice Friday streams in the future. Now, I don't know if my Command & Conquer Ultimate Collection of streaming will start right away. I think it's going to be a little while before then, so I might do some Let's Plays of stuff and other things first on Friday streams, but then, or Game-Ons, I should say. I should just do Game-Ons. It's been a while since I did any Game-Ons because I've been doing Let's Plays. So, yeah, going forward, that will be my new streaming stuff down the road. So, well, I'll see what I can see on that stuff. So that's a plan. That's a plan as well. I wanted to talk about this, and this is something briefly. And this is just a hard-earned question that if you want to talk about it or if you want to give me your answers in the chat, in the chat section, in the comment section of youtube.com/OldFreakyGamer. If you go to OldFreakyGamer.com, you can also go and type in what you feel, but youtube.com/OldFreakyGamer. Or OldFreakyGamer.com and type in this in the comment section for the podcast, GamezAttack Podcast, episode 25, Games. This is a general question for people. And I'll give you my short, briefish answer on this. So going forward, and I think I talked about this multiple times, the future of gaming. Is it going to be console, PC, or mobile? I added mobile, even though I don't consider mobile gaming as a stable, but people still want to make mobile games. Even Microsoft has that King part of Activision Blizzard. The King part of Activision Blizzard is all mobile, and then you got all these other people making mobile games and trying to create more games for mobile or port games to mobile. Because mobile handhelds are, they got horsepower to them. For me, And I know this saying this, and I can understand, and I don't know if other people understand this, like executives or anything. Console gaming has been getting more and more expensive as time goes on, because they are trying nowadays, and this is everybody, this is except for Nintendo, so I should just say Microsoft and Sony. They are trying to get these consoles to be just as close to or as best they can to the console or to the PC counterparts. So they're focusing on more of trying to get these consoles to play these games like a PC instead of just making them as they should as consoles for console games or console versions of the games. My thing is, PC is PC. I play games on PC if they're available in GamePass or Steam, because I like to play games on my PC sometimes. And I got a nice Xbox controller attached to my PC that plays the games very nicely. And then there's games that I can only play on console because they only come out on console. So that is why I get a console. Now, like I said, if Microsoft and Sony were better, or in the future, if they made it better where you could get more of these games on PC, especially day one and stuff, like I did with Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, where I could have played that on my Xbox console, but I chose to play on a PC because it gave me that option where I could play it on PC or Xbox, because you could get that choice, and I download it to all the systems, and I'm like, I'm probably going to play Infinite Wealth on my PC and ROG Ally, so that's what I play it on, my PC and ROG Ally, because it's available, and I still get my achievements for the game and when I play the game and stuff. And Microsoft going forward into the future of video games and stuff, now that they're this really gigantic publisher, because now that they got Activision Blizzard and /King, and they got everybody else, all their other studios, what's keeping them from just, publishing all their games just on PC and eventually moving away from console? Or better yet, they can get into, instead of making just the regular console, they could get into the market of, this is going to be a PC. It's going to be a gaming PC. It's going to be a smaller and less powerful gaming PC, but it's going to be a gaming PC. But you can also just play your games on it, or you just use it as a PC, but it's a new version, more living room friendly, all that other stuff. Will they go that route where they could say, hey, we're still just doing PC, but this is kind of a console too, but it's more of a PC because it's running a special version of Windows that boots into the console. But if you want it to boot into the PC part of it, you can, or you could go switch to the PC part of it because the Xbox gaming app on it overlay works in tangent. They can make it really good. I think they can go that route where people could say then going forward, now people are buying these semi-gaming console PCs from Microsoft, even though a console is basically its own PC. But going forward, we're buying ourselves a PC. We could pop in a M.2 drive in it. We could do other stuff going forward with it. Same with Sony. Instead of just worrying about PlayStation all the time, put more of those games closer to date or on date onto the PC alongside the PlayStation. People will choose for themselves, and they'll still pay you a lot of money for all these games because they'll be like, this is day one. This is on PC and PlayStation 5 or 6. There you go. Mobile, like I said, I was never big on the mobile. Don't really care about mobile. I think I even spelled mobile wrong on here. I'm looking at it right now. I'm like, mobile? Mobile? I could check this out. I'm going to check this out. I bet you it's wrong because I'm stupid nowadays. Oh, no. It's right. Everything looks weird. When you look at a different, what should I say? When you look at it, a lot of words in different fonts, Sometimes the font looks like it's wrong and it makes the word look like it's wrong. And I'm like looking at mobile. I'm like, is that how it's supposed to be spelled? Or console? Is that supposed to be how it's spelled? I know you can spell mobile and console different ways, but I'm just thinking, I'm like, Anywho, I don't give a shit about mobile. I don't believe in mobile gaming. I don't care about it. I was kind of a little peed off when PopCap, I don't know if they're still with EA. I'm pretty sure they might be. When they had announced that the new Plants vs. Zombies game is coming out, the legit one, not the big open-ish shooter one versus one, but the ones back where you go try to protect the house of the guy and you get all these little weapons over the time and you're shooting all the zombies, that kind of thing, the side-scrolling thing. They got a new one coming out, and it's only for mobile going forward, and I'm like, missed opportunity, dumbasses. Why aren't you putting this on PC and Xbox and PlayStation? Why you put it on mobile? I know you can make money on mobile, but stop. Put it out on PC and console, because that's what the original games were. And I know they're going to do it on mobile first and then eventually put it on console and PCs probably down the road. But why? Why are they trying to do that? Go down that route? I haven't heard anything since about Plants vs. Zombies 3 after the trailer I watched and stuff, which looked pretty good. It looked like the other two. And hopefully it doesn't have a lot of the mistakes that the second one had with its in-app purchases and stuff. But, yeah, I don't want to play games on my mobile device anymore. There's only one game I play on my phone, and that is a game I have to play on my phone because I get rewards for the game. It's that Bejeweled-ish type of game. But the only way I could get the rewards, that 30 points, I got to play that game. I know it's really bad. If those points got reduced on that game and it went down to like 10 or 5, I wouldn't be hesitant not to play it. But as it stands, it's 30 points. So I tend to play that game. It's really boring now because it's the same thing over and over again. I only ever get up to level 13 and then I die. I got to restart the whole thing over again. But, yeah. Don't care about mobile game. PC, console, sure. Now, for me, PC is more likely the route I'm going to go towards the future, especially because I got a ROG Ally, PC in my hand, can play those games. Anything other than that, if I want to play on my desktop PC, I can, or if I need keyboard and mouse, I can do that with the PC. I don't really do it with the ROG Ally. I could do it with the ROG Ally, but I don't want to do keyboard and mouse with my ROG Ally. I only do that when I do major updates and patches and stuff. But anywho, PC is probably where I'm going to be doing a majority of my gaming. I said it many times before, I wish Microsoft would get these companies or try to get these companies, even if they have to do a special sale deal for them or something, and say, hey, we'd like to get all these games that you're putting on our console, on Xbox, and try to get them on our PC store side. You'll make more sales, whatever. We would like that really much if you could do that so we can sell some stuff on our PC side, because a lot of people are PC gamers. So why can't I get a lot of these games on my PC side? Why can't I get StarWars Battlefront Collection on Xbox PC? Why do I got to get it on Steam? You know, give us some more leadway. You know, give us some more choices. More choice is better. More choice is better. Less choice, not so good. You know, it's just like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. They offered that on Xbox and Xbox PC. Same thing with Like a Dragon. The Man Who Erased His Name was on both Xbox and Xbox PC. And I'm like, okay, I could choose. And I choose the PC. And that's something because Microsoft probably had some interesting, cool deals. And I hope those deals go forward. Because, shit, if they release a Like a Dragon game in the future or a Judgment game in the future and it's not on Xbox PC, I'll be like, ugh. I know the Judgment games they haven't released on the PC side because they have more problems with the Xbox PC side or PC in general and Steam because they're worried about breakage. But anyways, yeah. I would love to go for just playing my games on PC. Even if I have to build like a mini gaming PC for the living room, I would do that because then I could play my games in my living room on the living room PC, especially if they update the PC software for gaming and make it a lot better. I would be happy to do that. Yeah, make a little Xbox dashboard thing for a computer PC Game Pass. I would definitely do that. But I don't know. And I'll still play games on my console. Like I got a bunch of games that it's only I can play on the console. I'll play on the console. I do not mind, going forward. But ultimately I want to play on my PC or Raw Gallery because it's easier. And the console, sure, I use that for more of my media center for my TV and stuff, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. Tell me in the comment section, like I said, youtube.com/OldFreakyGamer. Under this podcast, GamezAttack podcast number 25, Games. Let me know at OldFreakyGamer.com. And you know what I also forgot to add? I forgot to add these two other areas that you can add a comment or tell me what you think about stuff like console, PC, and mobile gaming for the future. You can email me at oldfreakygamer.com. So that's oldfreakygamer. Oldfreakygamer at gmail.com. That's oldfreakygamer at gmail.com. And that's all one word thing too. And reply there. Or you could go to Twitter X, that's what I call it now, Twitter X. Because it's called X now, but it's still, you could get there by Twitter, and it still says Twitter and some stuff. So I call it Twitter X. Go to Twitter X. My handle is at OldFreakyGamer. So it's the @ symbol, OldFreakyGamer. Let me know. I would love to know. As a gamer to gamer, I'd like to know what you feel about it. Feel about the whole future of gaming as a general, consoles and stuff. Are consoles going away? And if they do, what's going to replace them? Because there's still a lot of people that like to play only on consoles. Or is the PC console business going to evolve where consoles are going to be also PCs? They're just going to be smaller PCs and they're going to be more powerful gaming PCs and they could do 4K. I can foresee that. Why limit the box to just doing one thing? Even though in the past, limiting the box to just do one thing was easiest, but going forward, if people are able to buy, more of the Xbox games on their PCs and stuff like that and play them, then there's no segregation. There's no separation. I don't have to go, I can't play this over here because it doesn't play. I can't play Star Wars Battlefront because it's only for Xbox. But wait, it's going to be for PC too. And I know a lot of people will be hard-pressed to just get a PC to play games on because of how Windows is and everything, because people don't like Windows out there and they don't like having to do extra jump for other more hoops and stuff to get in and play. Me, I don't really care. It doesn't bother me. But I've been a PC gamer for a while now, so what can I say? Well, what I can say is, here's the last segment, and we might as well get into it, because, shit, my throat is getting tired, and, of course, the podcast is going strong and long. A little shorter than last week's, but still strong and long, over 2 hours. So we're going to get into some gaming news. We're going to get into that after this, which you will not notice, because I'm going to take a brief pause for the cause to blow my nose, but you will not know. So I will be back in a sec. And we're back with that good old gaming news here on the OldFreakyGamer.com podcast.
The games news from the past week.
Oh yeah, the gaming news from the past week, folks. Oh boy, I can tell you the gaming news. We're going to start it off. We're going to kick it off with that good old hatred for Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered, which apparently people keep saying they like. So I must be in an alternate universe. I must be in an alternate dimension or something because I don't like Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered. I think Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered is a hot bunch of garbage, but everybody else is saying, oh, they're great. They're great. They're great. And I'm like, really? Really? No, I wanted to return them. I thought they were more hot garbage than the originals on the PlayStation. And it's like, what do people see in this shit that I don't? And I'm like, Aspire, you're making me wonder about you. And then I was getting really scared about the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection because I'm like, oh, that's also being remastered and done by Aspire. And I'm like, is this going to be just as bad or worse than this Tomb Raider? And I'm like thinking, no, it can't be as bad or as worse because those games were actually good running games. What shit could they do to those games to make them worse? And it's getting a little darker over here. I don't know why. I'm going to turn on the light. It's going to make my thing really different. I didn't want to put on the light, but I have to because it must be the clouds out there. I had natural sunlight for the longest time, and then at the end of this program, it just seemed to get a little darker out. Go figure. Go figure. Anywho, yeah, I was so pissed off on how this Tomb Raider business was. I was like, okay, am I even going to give these Star Wars Battlefront remasters classic collection a look-see, or was I going to wait? Originally, I was going to wait. I was going to wait till after it came out and until people started playing it, but I'm kind of glad I did give in and I did pre-purchase it the day before. And all the people that were complaining about it, I'm like, I didn't really listen to them because when I played them, I'm like, they feel fine and play fine to me. I don't care about the larger download size because I understand it's because of the added videos in the games. And I don't care really about multiplayer, but when I tried the multiplayer out, it worked decently to me. Sure, it did crash. I do admit it did crash a couple times, but I was able to, on the Xbox side at least, I was able to get into the games and play them online with people, and it was quite fun. So I don't have the same hatred for Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection. I think they play really fun. They're really fun to play, and they play very well online, offline. So I don't know. I must be in a different universe, folks. Like I said, I must be thinking differently in a different universe. I'll probably listen to Jeff Gerstmann this week when you're listening to this. He puts up his podcast Tuesday, so I'll probably listen to Tuesday, Wednesday. I listen to from the Giant Bomb people, and they'll probably be like either yay or nay on everything. Gerstmann will probably say, oh, those are horrible. I don't know what other people are saying they're horrible online, but I don't think people are saying, oh, they dropped the bomb on that. I'm like, what are you talking about? No, they dropped the bomb on the Tomb Raider collection, remastered collection. That's what they dropped the bomb on. But anywho, there's some updated news and patch notes for Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered from what's her name? From Asylum. And why is their page all white? Why is this all white? It wasn't white before. Why did this all turn white? And when it turned all white, it made it so I can't even read this stuff. So I have to highlight it to read it. Yeah, thank you, Aspire. But hey, they updated it. They updated everything. They patched Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered collection to make them, I guess, better, hopefully. I don't know. I'll find out when I try playing them again, maybe in the near future. But yeah, it says Tomb Raider 1 through 3 patch notes. Patch for Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered goes live today, which was how many days ago? It doesn't say. Added missing HD textures, updated textures under ladders to no longer be impacted by camera movement. Updated lighting in certain dimly lit areas, resolved textures that would occasionally disappear depending on camera positioning, reworked pickup items in dimly lit locations to be more visible. That's a lot of stuff I did not have any problem with, but maybe I don't know, lighting in certain areas, maybe some camera movement stuff, maybe. I don't know. So Tomb Raider 1, the one that I only really tried to play, fixed image sizes so paintings were no longer cropped in Laura's home. I did not notice. I did not care. So I don't know what they're talking about. Resolved partial missing door in the Egypt level. Partial missing door in the Egypt level. Don't remember that. I only did the first level. Is that the first level, the Egypt level, or is that a different level? I don't know. Updated textures on key pickups to be more visible. Updated lava textures not to be transparent when viewed at certain angles. That does not say that it fixed some gameplay controls or anything like that, which I would highly suggest to them to fix is the gameplay controls and the gameplay in general, where the camera goes crazy sometimes and it blocks you out or it freezes your character, or better yet, make the game play better so I can play through the levels and it doesn't seem like it's a hot bunch of garbage. Tomb Raider 2, they stated that they resolved a crash that would occur in the Home Sweet Home level, updated hitbox for spiders in the Great Wall level, updated misplaced secrets in the Golden Mask levels, Snowmobile no longer rides backwards when firing in modern controls. Wait, it was riding backwards when it was firing in modern controls? Really? That's funny. Updated door handles to include proper textures in the diving area. Updated HD molten gold texture in the Kingdom level. Updated snow camouflage in the HD mode of the Cold War level. And then the third one, updated quicksand textures in HD mode. Waterfall no longer disappears when switching the levels in the control room of the Nevada desert. Gem is now visible in the Furnace of the Gods level. Secret level, All Hollows now triggers properly. Skybox details are now visible in HD mode at the beginning of the Shakespeare Cliff. Whew. Still nothing really that fixes anything really major in those games. At least for what I want them to fix. But at least they're doing something patch-wise. I hope they patch way more than that. But I don't know. We'll see. This other news, of course, I was talking about this earlier about Warner Brothers being douchebags and being a very bad company, and they should be on the worst companies of the world list this year. Don't put EA on it. Put Warner Brothers Discovery. They're the worst company on the planet now. Let's just leave it at that. So even though Suicide Squad disappoints in sales, WB is still going to double down on live service games. So more stuff like the Suicide Squad, more like the Multiverse, that other game, less single-player games, less shooter games, less Harry Potter single-player shooter games, less Mortal Kombat's probably. Less of those stuff. Less of the good single-player titles that people like to go to. So don't expect to see anything, Batman Arkham games or these or that. You're going to see more multiplayer bullshit that is so-called their open verse stuff. Like their DC verse game, I don't even think that's going to do well, but they're stupid. They talk stupid. They are stupid. It's all about money and easy backing. The CEO of Warner Bros. Discovery, David Zaslav. See, even his name sucks. David Zaslav. He sounds like a piece of shit. He looks like a piece of shit too. I seen his picture once. That company is he's just slowly killing Warner Brothers Discovery. They're going down. They're going to be bankrupt. They're going they're going to be sold off for parts eventually, and it's going to suck. Because they were, Warner Brothers, at least before it was, merged with Discovery, was a strong, good company. And then somehow it strayed away and then went deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And it's like, really? Nobody can figure this shit out the proper way, right? No? I know. So that's why I'm boycotting Warner Brothers Discovery, because they don't deserve my funding. They don't deserve my money. So now let's talk about Respawn Entertainment. The people that make Apex Legends and a whole bunch of other interesting games over there. They work on that I'm saying Apex Legends. They worked on I can't even think of the name. That's where my brain goes. It goes in the wrong direction. They worked on that mech game, the open land mech game. Oh my God, not Chrome Hounds. Wow, I'm bad. Well, they did Star Wars Force. They did the Star Wars games, Star Wars Fallen Jedi, blah 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 blah. But they did Wow, Mr. Mike. Why do I blank on the name? Oh, shoot. Respawn Studios. Titanfall. There we go. Wow, I'm bad. I'm bad. Yeah, Titanfall. They did Titanfall. Well, apparently around 24 Respawn employees have been just laid off, part of a series of ongoing cuts over at EA. Because why not? Because everybody cuts people. And even EA cuts people? No. Even though they got, this company called Respawn that they now run and own that makes great games from, like these Apex Legends and these Star Wars games. And you got the owner, the leader of Respawn, even running stuff like the Battlefield part of things and everything else. You're going to let go all those people, even though you can use them to make more games for you? That's how the industry still goes. Even though I could just say clearly for the good news in the video game industry who didn't get laid off, all those people over at Activision Blizzard, a chunk of the, I don't know what chunk, but the ones that unionized at Activision Blizzard, they got their jobs saved, and they didn't lose their jobs because they already had union representation, which I guess the union representation says it's not legal to lay off these people without consent and blah blah blah, and going through the right channels and blah 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 blah. But anywho, everybody else does not have any representation in unions. Unions are not a big thing in the video game industry. They are a very much frowned upon thing by many video game industry leaders and company owners. Yes, very big, because they know if a lot of these people get unions, it's harder to fire these people for nonsense, bullshit, money grabbing for, shareholder price keeping standards. That's all it is for shareholders. So basically, around 670 workers will probably be impacted on the layoffs over at Respawn. They were originally going to do a Star Wars first-person shooter. That got canceled by EA for some reason. EA also shuttered Ridgeline Games. Let's see here. EA's restructuring and stuff, including splitting its business into EA Sports and EA Entertainment. That's just more workers to add to the big pile of workers that are out of work, not making video games. And I agree with a lot of people. A lot of those people could have kept their jobs if these companies and studios would think and maybe use them for other things, maybe to make other games, to do other stuff. I don't know what these guys and gals do in the video game making process, but I wonder if there was enough of them or they were skilled enough to where they could just go and do something separately for the companies, that they could do remastering or updates, help them out in other areas where they can make more money or save more money. But I don't think that's what happens. People don't think that way. When you got people like Capcom, and this is a big news story, and this isn't something in my news list, I just remember it. Capcom, they gave everybody bonuses and raises over at Capcom. They didn't fire out anybody. They gave everybody bonuses and raises. They said, good work. We're going to make more money the next time. This company is even more profitable now. So they treat them right. They don't buy back their stocks. They don't pay shareholders more money. They use that money and they put it into their workers, not into everything else. That's a smart thing to do. Why don't other companies not do that? I don't know. It's like, why don't all these companies just make good games? Make new, innovative games instead of the same old games. Maybe sometimes make the games a little smaller. I don't know. Just a thought. So all those people at Respawn that lost their jobs, sorry to see you go. But that's how the cookie crumbles in this business. So, in other news, people now know why the Command & Conquer games just got a price slash. EA just dropped a bundle of the old-time classics, which I've already talked about, on Steam, including virtually every Command & Conquer ever made, pretty much, and a bunch of other Electronic Arts properties as well on the Steam store. Like I said, it's around, when it was on sale, it's like around $12, $15 or something. I think it goes up to $19.99 off sale or whatever for these Command & Conquer games. But in the Command & Conquer Ultimate Edition, now no, these are none of the remasters, which was only Command & Conquer and Red Alert on those remasters. These are all the originals. You get a lot of them. You get Command & Conquer Covert Operations, CNC Red Alert Counter-Strike, Red Alert Aftermath, Command & Conquer Tiberian Sun, Tiberian Sun's Firestorm. Tiberian Sun games are pretty fun as well. Red Alert 2, Red Alert 2 Yuri's Revenge, CNC Renegade, that's the first-person shooter one. General Zero Hour, CNC 3 Tiberian Wars, CNC Tiberian Wars Kane's Wrath, Red Alert 3, Red Alert 3 Uprising, and CNC 4 Tiberium Twilight. So all those games in a bundle where you can pay less than, they're like $15, $16, give or take. They're all like really cheap. And I think they're still really cheap right now on sale on the Steam sale and the EA Steam sale. So maybe you could still get them cheap. And I highly recommend it because they're all a bunch of great RTSs, except for Command & Conquer Renegade, which is a first-person shooter. So it's interesting what they stick in there in all the Command & Conquer lore. Also, with more Command & Conquer news, when that all dropped on Steam, and when EA dropped all the Command & Conquer Steam, as they say, an onslaught of these Command & Conquer games in the Ultimate Edition, because you can get them separately as well. Apparently, with all that dropping that day of the launch of all these, it pissed off a lot of indie devs. Apparently, a lot of indie devs stated that they were blindsided after their multi-year passion projects get immediately buried by EA's Command & Conquer Steam onslaught. And apparently some of these guys were saying, oh my God, how come that happened? And I was working on this game for a long time, and then I tried to drop it, and then all these Command & Conquer games got dropped in front of my game. And I don't know. It's funny to me too, because it's like, okay, sure, they dropped all their games because they know people wanted to play them again, like me. It's not their fault that they dropped them at that time and then you dropped your game at that time. And other people like WWE and such dropped their games at that time too. So, yeah, it's hard to be indie dev if you drop a game and somebody like EA comes around the same time and drops a whole ton of games, like backs up their truck and say, hey, Steam, we got all these games we usually just sell them on our store at the EA store, but hey, why not? We want some extra money, so we're going to dump them on your Steam store. So they just back up that truck and they go, beep, 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 beep. Look at all these games flooding the market. All these old games. So apparently some of these developers were crying about it. Like this tiny team, 10 years of work between all the detours and forced time trying to get some income together, but never gave up upon it, never walked away from it, kept growing away. And then this day, on launch day, everything dropped. So I don't know. It's harsh world out there, folks. And when you can just drop a bunch of games on Steam and stuff like that, got to be careful. Got to be careful. It's not like they're going to announce to everybody, oh, we're going to plan on dropping the CNC Ultimate Edition next week. They wanted people to be like, oh, look at this. Look at what happened. They wanted some extra publicity on that stuff. And the best publicity is to drop a whole bunch of stuff at once and not say a damn word about it. Yep. So cloud gaming users rejoice as Apple backtracks on controversial web app policy. So Apple's original plan for the web apps would have broken Xbox Cloud Gaming and other PWAs on iOS, meaning the back end where it gets these games to run and work in the cloud in the back with stuff through the Apple Online, through the Apple Online part of it. But still nothing from like Apple's iOS or anything like that on having actual apps in the App Store to play these games, because nobody wants to do that because they don't want to pay that 30% cut for Apple on their App Store, and Apple wants more money and more regulation on all the games. Like they were telling Microsoft, each game from the Microsoft Cloud Store or whatnot has to be put into the App Store separately or whatnot, and it can't be all together. And it's like, no, why? That sounds really stupid and it's horrible, and yeah, really horrible. But hey, for all you people that use Xbox Cloud gaming and stuff to play games on your handheld, well, there you go. Maybe you don't have to worry about Apple's plan for web app went down the drain. So you could still play Xbox Cloud games and stuff on your shitty Apple devices instead of just going to Android. I don't know. Just saying. I'm not a big Apple fan. Former Xbox boss Peter Moore chimed in, stating that Gen Z may reject new consoles in favor of smartphones and PCs. In his statement, he says, why talking like these Gen Zers and people now, stating that why do I need to spend $400 to $500 on a bespoke piece of gaming hardware when I've got my smartphone or I got my PC or my Mac. Hold on one second, folks, on this. Okay, here we go again. Sorry about that, folks. I got somebody trying to make noise when they should be working today. So, yeah, this is the whole thing about, why should we buy a console over a PC or, a smartphone or something? I was just talking about this stuff earlier. Our console's going to be dead? Probably not right away, unless if they really go into like low digit numbers of sales going forward. You know, there'll always be, Microsoft will still put out new consoles. I'm sure Sony's going to put out new consoles. Nintendo is just waiting until next year to put out consoles. Is it because they're worried about sales, or are they really, really worried about how many people are going to be buying their consoles on launch day? I think they want to sell as many as they can on launch day because why not? So I'm thinking they're just pushing it back because they really want to get that production high on their next console. We'll see. We'll see what the truth is with Nintendo. But that's what I think they were saying. They were saying we don't want people like scalpers harming their next console launch and stuff like that. So if that's the truth, then that's good for them because their consoles are cheaper than both Xbox and PlayStation. So, you know, they can do that. They can do that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, do you want to spend $500+ on a console? Because consoles are getting more and more expensive every year. That's the fact of the matter, folks. They try to make them as cheap as possible, but if you want these consoles to be more powerful, you want those HD graphics, you want that fast resolution speed, you want all that stuff, you're going to have to pay for it. And if you don't want to run it on a PC and mess with Windows and all that PC stuff, then the console is where you have to go. And if they're going to put in the horsepower and the graphics capabilities and memory and stuff in there, that don't come cheap, and people don't realize that. And then just playing it over cloud on the smartphone and stuff, that's just horrible. That's just bad people. I consider them bad people. But that's just me. Maybe these gaming portable rigs, like my Asus ROG Ally and those MSI stuff and the Legion Go's and stuff, maybe those will be the answer to the console versus PC notion. Even though they are PCs, they're like a handheld console in your hand where you know, they're expensive, but I don't know. I don't even think that's a justifiable resolution. I think people just got to accept, hey, you're going to at least spend up to $500 on a console, and if you can't afford a console, then why are you gaming in general? That's what I say. If you can't afford $500 on a console, then why are you even gaming? You shouldn't even play games because games are $70 a piece. They're expensive, unless if you get GamePass or something like that. So gaming's not cheap. That's not a cheap hobby. It's not a cheap thing to get into. So if you can't afford a console, then don't complain about it. Then don't have one. If you don't want to use a PC, then I don't know what else to tell you. It's not like yesteryear where $299 or $349 for a PlayStation or Xbox. You know, those days are long gone for that kind of stuff. $299 for a PlayStation. What was it? $349 or $299 for an Xbox 360. I forgot what the prices were. What was the price of the 360 back in the day? Launch price of consoles. Let's see if they have what they were. Oh, they got something here. Maybe they'll have something here. Okay, let's see here. So SNES. Let's see here. NES back in the day. I'm gonna start off with consoles I had. The NES was $200 back in the day. Now they got like 2020 pricing. I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to use the original pricing back in the day. So it was like $200 for NES, $200 for SNES, $300 for original PlayStation. So we were getting up pretty high on the original PlayStation thing. Sega Saturn, $400. So it goes up. Nintendo 64, which I didn't care about, $199. So it got cheaper. With the 64. Dreamcast, $199 at launch. PS2 at launch, $300, $299. Understood. I think I paid $249.99 when I got mine because, like I said, it was a couple years in the PlayStation 2 era. GameCubes were $200, $199 a piece. The original Xbox, $300 at $299. The Xbox 360, and I remember this, and I bet I bought the more expensive one because I'm sure I wanted more of the computing power. I don't know. I wonder if I bought the more expensive one because I think it had the hard drive with it, because the $299 one was the all digital. It wasn't all digital, but it had it where you only use the memory stick or whatever. You can only use the memory card, but the $399 one came with the hard drive, the 20 gig hard drive or something. So my 360 original was $399, so $400, or you could get it for $299. The Wii, $250 at launch. Yep, $249. Yeah, I remember that. The PS3, yes, that was expensive as shit. That was $499, $599. At that time, I waited, and eventually I got the $599 version because it had everything, and then I stupidly sold that away with all that cool stuff to it. I should have kept my original PS3 because that was awesome. I got the newer PS3. That was like $349 or something when I got the newer slim PS3. It was like $299, $349 or something. That was better. Let's see. The shitty Wii U was like $299, $349. PS4, $400. Xbox One, $500. And the only reason that the Xbox One was $500 and why people didn't buy it, on top of all the TV stuff that people were talking about in the online and all that other bullshit that, you know, people and corporate entities of that era of Microsoft fucked it up. But yes, the $499 compared to $399 price point really did it in. And you know, the PS4 was only $400 when Xbox One was $500 because they bundled that with the Kinect 2, which maybe they should have kept that separate. Maybe they should have had one that was cheaper without the Kinect and one with the Kinect. Maybe they would have made out price-wise. So Microsoft kind of fucked themselves over in that time. But that's because of Don Matrick and what's his name? The former CEO of Microsoft. Trying to think of his name. I purged him out of my mind, so I forgot what his. He owns the basketball team. I'm trying to think of his name. Steve Ballmer. Back in the Ballmer and Don Matrick area. That's what caused that $499 price point for Xbox One. That's what fucked over Microsoft from then on, was the price and what they were doing with the TV and all the mismessaging. Then PS4 Pro, I'm not even going to mention that because even though that says $399, I don't even care about that. Nintendo Switch, when I first bought it, $300, $299. Xbox One X. They had an updated Xbox One X. That was $500. Switch Lite, $199. I didn't know the Switch Lite was one. Yeah, I do. Stupid brain again. And then when the Series X and S came out and the PS5 digital and disc-based versions came out, they came out at, Series S and X came out at $299 and $499. So $300, $500. Of course, I bought the Series X, so I spent $500 on my Series X. And the people on the PlayStation 5 part paid $399 and $499, respectively. So the PS5 digital edition was $400, and PS5 disc-based one was $500. So very expensive. For me, still expensive, but still they had that cheaper price point, but didn't help Microsoft because, you know, after the Xbox One, people really got bad taste in their mouth because of Don Matrick and Steve Ballmer and all the other corporate guys back in that time. But yeah, the pricing on consoles, expensive. And notice they just keep going up, except for the Switch. That went down from the regular Switch to the Switch Lite, which is the Switch Lite is the handheld if you didn't notice. $200, $300, $200. They keep in that price point. Sony and Microsoft and Sony, they just keep going up and up and up. And next year, will they go up even more? Will they go up to $500-$600? Maybe. And that's what's going to hurt console gaming going forward, because gamers, not just Gen Z, but gamers in general, don't want to spend $500+ on a freaking video game console. They want to spend $399, $499. That's the sweet spot. $399, $499. If you can make it like $3 something to $4 something, that's your sweet spots. Now, if you're getting to $5, $6, which of course they want to put more graphics, more memory, more stuff to speed it up to make it more powerful, that just adds a lot of extra cost. And unless it's Microsoft or Sony, and I would say more Microsoft because they're a $3 trillion company, they can afford it, take a bit of a loss on the console part. If they can make that, like I said, if they can make the next Xbox, make it super powerful, keep it slim and small as they want, maybe just come out with the one edition first, all digital edition if they really wanted to. They could come out with a disc-based version too as well, but make one that's all digital, one that's physical, and make them like, I don't know, a staggering $399, $499, or even more scary, $299, $399. I know they would never do that because they would lose so much money on each console. But if they did that and they took that hit, and then, they can bundle in an extra, like a game for each console at the launch or something, or 1 year subscription to GamePass Ultimate for everybody on each of those console purchases, Microsoft could overtake Sony easily and everybody else. They'd be like, oh, look at that. We're charging you $299, $399 for these consoles, and you're getting all this horsepower and stuff, and we're taking a big loss here, and you're getting Game Pass Ultimate for 1 year for you signing in and creating an account or logging into your account on these new consoles and registering these new accounts with us. You get 1 free year of Game Pass Ultimate. Whew. I'm pretty sure people would buy these consoles in droves, and I bet you they'd be buying all the digital games, all the physical games. I think Microsoft would get back in the gamers' good graces where they'd be like, oh, these consoles are so cheap, who cares? They're taking the big hit. Sony's charging $400 or $500 or $600 for their new consoles, and they're not taking a hit. I'm sure people with gaming libraries or not on the other consoles and stuff would transfer over back to Xbox. They'd be like, okay, Sony's way more expensive for their stuff, but it's cheaper here, and we can get even more games over here and Game Pass. We're going to come over here now. I don't know. It's, like I said, it's my nuclear option for Microsoft. It's an option they will never do. If I talked about this to Phil Spencer and the head and the corporate heads over at Microsoft, they'd look at me and go, that will never happen, Mike. Mr. Mike, that will never, ever happen. And me, I'd be like, but why not? You're a $3 trillion company. You get all those people back in your ecosystem. You make that 30% all your games and everything else. You can make all that money back. And plus more, because everybody's going to be coming into your ecosystem in droves. Just get those games, those third-party games, get the PC games, get all that stuff, sell the DLC. They'll make a fortune. But that's just me. That's my brain thinking. It could happen. It could happen. Of course, on other news, Microsoft Rewards program has raised the redemption points for Xbox and other third-party gift cards. It's something they've been doing. They've been messing with that rewards program. I'm still actually doing it, go figure, but I'm not, it's not like cutting into my life or anything, but yeah, I've been doing the Microsoft Rewards program still, and yeah, they raised the price of like the Xbox $50 gift card and stuff by 1,000 so points or here and there. It's not a big deal to me. Not a big deal, but I know a lot of people go crying and complaining over a lot of stuff, especially when a lot of the points are a little less on what you get from certain things. But I don't complain about that stuff because, they got to make money. It's costing them money to, give out these points, give out this stuff, because you get actual stuff. You get a gift card to places. You can get one to Amazon. You can get one to Xbox, Microsoft. You can enter the contest if you really want to. It costs them money to do a lot of this stuff. And sure, they're getting like data from you and stuff, because that's what it is. It's basically getting a lot of usage data from people on the internet and the Xbox, all that stuff. But they got to make their money back. And if it's costing them more money to get that stuff, to do that stuff, I think raising it a little bit, you're still getting it still cheaper than what the actual cost of the cards are. And you're getting it for free because all you're doing is using your time to get these reward points. So I have no sympathy for the other Microsoft rewards people that are crying about that stuff. Big warning from Mojang. Apparently, updating your Minecraft through your PC Xbox app could cause you to lose your worlds if you don't back them up, of course. I back them up. Plus, I have a server, so I have them all on my server. So Minecraft developer Mojang has warned players not to update the game through the official Xbox app on PC because it may delete their worlds. Does mine update through the PC? It does, doesn't it? But I think it auto updates if it does. But I don't, like I said, the PC side of my Minecraft playing, the world isn't, my world isn't saved on that side. It's saved on the PC/server side. So if I play Minecraft, it can't delete anything of my world in that side. I would have to physically go to my server and delete it from there. Plus, I back up the data. So if it deletes the main world somehow, I got a backup of it in my other file folder. So I'm not too worried about that. But for people that have their Minecraft worlds on their main computers and hard drives and stuff, yeah, maybe back that shit up once in a while. It's not hard. You just go to your apps and stuff, Microsoft apps and stuff, accounts, apps, user accounts, apps and stuff. Go to the Mojang tab, go click on that, take out your world's save and stuff, copy it, put it on the thumb drive, whatever you want to do, another hard drive. But still. And Mojang also stated that they are blocking the update from Windows to prevent it from possibly affecting more users. They are looking into the matter and why this is causing game saves to delete themselves, etc., etc. It is just a bug. And it can happen anywhere. Luckily, you got people there warning not to do it. I haven't played Minecraft in a while, so I'm not too worried about it. So I'm not worried about any of that stuff. But if you do, and you play a lot of Minecraft on your main machine, you don't do it over a server or anything, maybe back up a little bit before it let it update. That's what I would say. Back it up. Because maybe when it updates, maybe it installs the whole game and stuff, and it takes out the saves and stuff. Because that's what happens in my server side. If I want to update the server side, I gotta save out that world anyways, because you got to redo the whole thing, the whole folder structure. So I can understand that, especially with my settings and stuff. I save my settings on the side because it just blows everything away on how I do that. And final news and great news. And I keep forgetting about this because I'm very happy because March 26th, when is that? That's coming up shortly. That's coming up the following week, not this week, but the following week. The 26th is a Tuesday. Diablo 4 comes to Xbox, officially on Game Pass. Who would have thought that would ever happen? And I'm hoping it comes on a PC. It says Xbox, but I'm hoping PC as well. I'm pretty sure Diablo 4 will be on PC Game Pass, but fingers are crossed. I'm crossing. Because it would suck if it was just only Xbox in a way, not that it would really suck, because I do play Diablo 3 on Xbox, and it was just fine, but I really want to play it on my ROG Ally. and PC, and I don't want to buy a Steam version copy of Diablo 4, and I would hope that they are making it available for all of Xbox and PC. I'm pretty sure they will, but it just doesn't say it in the article. But when Diablo 4 launches on Xbox Game Pass or PC Xbox Game Pass, I don't know if it's just PC or Xbox because it's still just saying Xbox Game Pass, but I'm hoping PC as well. And it is talking about DLSS and all this. It's talking about ray tracing, so it could be PC. It could be PC. So just don't quote me on this because the article's really bad at stating what it is. It says set to be released on Xbox's subscription service, but Xbox is in the whole is both Xbox and PC, so it could be both. So, but Diablo 4 is getting ray tracing support later this month, which is basically a few days before. So later this week, so a few days before the March 26th update. So NVIDIA revealed that Diablo 4 ray tracing update arrives on March 26th. Another interesting thing to note that the ray tracing update for Diablo 4 comes 2 days before the game is set to be released on Xbox's subscription service. So basically they're talking about probably PC here, because if NVIDIA is talking about it and they don't use NVIDIA graphics, they use AMD graphics in the Xbox. So they're talking about PCs if they're talking about ray tracing and stuff. So I am just guessing that, and they should say PC Xbox's gaming service, but anyways, it is coming. It is going to be coming for Diablo 4. Apparently it didn't have ray tracing, but it's going to. So I'll be able to just play it with ray tracing, especially if it's on my PC. Which PC. I love the Xbox. I will play it on Xbox, mind you, but I got a ROG Ally, I got a PC. That's the kind of game that you want to play with that stuff. I'm just sorry. I'll still use a gaming controller to play it, but shit. But Diablo 4, I cannot wait till that comes out. Don't have to pay a dime for it like other people did. And it's on Game Pass, and it's going to be with ray tracing. I'm a happy Mr. Mike. I'm very happy, Mr. Mike. So there you go, guys and gals and gamers and of all shapes, sizes, and creeds and whatnot. There's your gaming news. There's your podcast. Boy, it's almost going to 3 hours almost. It's almost hit the 3-hour mark with the podcast, but shit, a lot of stuff to talk about again. Plus, I talked my nose and mouth off on the games I purchased. But, yeah, a lot of games. Like I said, there's no need to worry about not getting those newest, latest, greatest games out there, because there's still tons of games that came out that I'm sure 80 to 90% of those games none of us have ever played yet. And they're all out there on Steam, Xbox, Game Pass, PlayStation Store, Switch, GeForce Now, Epic Game Store, any other ones that I don't know about, the Ubisoft Store maybe. There's games everywhere. They're still out there. All these classic older titles that, shit, they're not the latest, greatest, but you haven't played them in a million years, so maybe you want to play them. I don't know. Just saying. So everybody, I'm going to end this podcast because I'm getting hungry. I want to try to work out today. I probably will work out today, but I'm hungry. I want at least a snack before I work out. I want to do some editing and stuff while I'm snacking a little bit. Then I can work out after. Then I want to play some games today. And then I got to go to work tomorrow. So, and then tomorrow will be today when you watch and listen to this podcast. So then you will be getting this podcast and video portion of the show to your devices and YouTubes and stuff later in that day. So everybody, thank you for joining me for the GamezAttack podcast. Again, this upcoming Friday, I will be doing my, my normal Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth stream on Yakuza Like Me. Wednesday I will not have a Like a Dragon or a Yakuza Like Me episode. I might have a Let's Play. I might have something else, maybe. I'm thinking about it. It depends. We'll see if I play something and record it and put it up. But maybe I'll have something then. Or maybe not. Who knows? I don't know yet. But yeah, that's what's going to go on this week. It's going to be a lighter week. It's not going to be a super crazy week that it was like last week when I was trying to put out all those videos and play all those games. Whew. It takes a lot of work to play a lot of games. Anywho, thank you for joining me. I am Mr. Mike. This has been the GamezAttack podcast, episode 25. I just said that. Games. Like I said, you can contact me in many, many ways. You know, email, websites, podcast show notes, Twitter/X at OldFreakyGamer, OldFreakyGamer at gmail.com, OldFreakyGamer.com, YouTube.com/OldFreakyGamer. I'm also on Twitch.tv/OldFreakyGamer. All that stuff. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. Until the next 2 weeks from now, I will be back. So everybody, game on, game hard, world conquest. I'm pushing this gaming button. This show is now game over. Peace.
Knock, open up the doors.
I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up. It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.
That's a good game.
Enjoy your gaming.